against 42-year-old Bridget Matthews. Blackwood says more arrests are coming since accomplices helped Matthews hide Jackson's body. 5 schools here in the state have been awarded the National Blue Ribbon Recognition for 2023. That award comes from the U.S. Department of Education. The schools awarded are Cordova Elementary out of Walker County, Mount Carmel Elementary in Madison County, Creekview Elementary in Alabaster, Jefferson County International Baccalaureate Middle School, and Skyline High School in Jackson County. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hello, this is Sky Mosley for the Alabama Gazette, your hometown conservative newspaper. The Alabama Gazette, always published under the banner of God, family, and country. They share your principles, your values, and the Alabama Gazette has the courage to defend those convictions in print. The Gazette celebrates their 24th anniversary, October 26th. There will be a big to-do downtown at their beautiful offices. The public is invited, food and fun for the entire family. Meanwhile, please consider advertising with the Alabama Gazette. They are most worthy of your support. Give them a call, 356-6700. Pro-life, pro-family, pro-America. That's the Alabama Gazette, 356-6700. Remember, advertising space is limited for that big 24th anniversary issue, so give them a call right now, 356-6700. The Alabama Gazette, informative, honest, trustworthy, your conservative alternative. That's the Alabama Gazette, 356-6700.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
After damning politicians uphill and down dale for many years as rogues, vagabonds, frauds, and scoundrels, I sometimes suspected, like everyone else, I often expect too much of them.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
I said, what in the world is this?
If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
Thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Chancellor, or Dr. Paper, and thank you, Chancellor.
You know, they used to say Abraham Lincoln got the worst press. I said, there's no way he got worse than me.
Welcome into the program. I'm still not over that guy who saw the F-35 crash. He's still making my week, despite the tough week we got ahead. But as is tradition, there's a lot going on, folks, and it's always great to be joined by the one, the only Judge Andrew Napolitano. Judge, how are you today?
Oh, great. I was worried I wouldn't be able to see you, but all of a sudden, there you are.
Yeah, this is the hassle of, I'm producing the radio show and the live stream. I need to hire more people at a certain point. But how you doing today?
Pretty well, Joey. How about you?
I'm doing quite well. All things considered, had a very good friend pass over the weekend, so we're honoring his life over the week, and we'll celebrate his life on Friday.
Sorry to hear that.
He loves you very much. His name is Jack Campbell.
I'm also sorry I haven't gotten my book off to you, and I shall do so this week.
Awesome. I look forward to reading that. I really do. Now, there's so much going on. At the end of last week, Jack Smith and team file a gag order against President Trump. It's a narrow one. You now have in the news the response from Trump's legal defense. When you look at this gag order, and then we'll get into the larger question of Trump being his own worst enemy, but what do you make of this fight over the gag right now?
You know, I have a bias, and my bias is the freedom of speech. I mean, I never signed a gag order in my years on the bench, even though I tried some very, very high-profile cases. It's not a bias between free speech and the integrity of the trial. It's not a balance between free speech and the integrity of the trial. It's a bias in favor of free speech. Why? Because free speech is a natural human right. It just happens to be expressly protected by the First Amendment. If you hear Judge Chutka used the phrase balance, you'll know right from the get-go she's not applying the right test. In fairness to her, almost all judges would say balance, but they're wrong. It's bias in favor of free speech. Every conceivable bias, benefit, doubt, whatever you want to call it, must be construed in favor of free speech. Not because he's Donald Trump, not because he's running for president, but because he's a human being that has these natural rights. Now, having said that, he goads her. He attacks her personally. She's got to live with it. You're in the government. People can attack you. He attacks the prosecutors. They have to live with it. But he cannot attack witnesses. He cannot chill witnesses, by which I mean give witnesses pause. Do I really want to testify about this? Do I want to go through what's going to happen to me if he starts attacking me? That's what he can't do. Prediction, she will not apply the bias test. She'll apply the balance test. Prediction, in her courtroom, balance will come down in favor of the integrity of the trial and against Donald Trump's free speech rights. Prediction, she'll gag him. Prediction, he'll violate the gag order, and we'll be right back in the courtroom.
And the whole framing here, and it's just becoming plainer by the day. In a second, folks will put out like this polling breakdown, that Washington Post ABC News poll. But the more he gets in trouble and is having trouble in the courtroom, often because of his own mouth, Donald Trump that is, the more his polls rise. And so
that is one of the bitter ironies here, but he needs to understand, and that's why I wrote that piece, His Own Worst Enemy, that his popularity as a person, as a candidate, even his legacy as president, and even the anticipation of his next term in office by half the country, will not and cannot save him in the courtroom. Politics will be of no benefit to him in the courtroom. And if I were his lawyers, I would whisper that in his ear or shout it at him every day.
And so the one thing that you wrote about, but you kind of give they give him the benefit of the doubt, but it's this idea of, I took the advice of counsel, yet in a Meet the Press interview, he said, I didn't listen to those guys. I made my own decision. Kind of undercuts his lawyer, Laro, in the courtroom. But couldn't Laro or Trump himself argue, well, I didn't listen to Bill Barr and some of the White House counsel, but I did listen to John Eastman, for instance?
You know, I guess he can say that, but the defense of advice of counsel is so precise today. He would have to put Eastman on the stand, himself a defendant in one or two of the other cases. I think the Georgia case. And Eastman would have to say precisely what Trump laid out for him, precisely the advice Eastman gave, and that Trump conformed to that advice precisely. A very difficult bar to overcome. Curiously, when John Lauro was all over the Sunday morning talk shows the Sunday after the fourth of these indictments came out, and said everything the president did was with the advice of counsel, and that's a defense. He's essentially correct. The government has to prove that you knew something was wrong and did it anyway. If your lawyer told you it was right, that deletes or defeats or dilutes the government's proofs. The jury might not believe you and could still find you guilty, but it is a valid attack on the government's proofs that you had what we call mens rea, a guilty mind. But then when he goes on television and says, I didn't follow the lawyers, they were all rhinos, you know, he's down a rabbit hole already. A rhino is a Republican in name only. It doesn't matter what the lawyers' politics were. I didn't respect them. I didn't believe them. He has undercut irretrievably the defense of advice of counsel. And quite frankly, Joey, that's about the only defense he has in these cases, is that my lawyers told me it was okay.
Well, and we'll see how it shakes out, but the idea of not being able to talk about what is the political issue driving your poll numbers, I think your prediction's right. He's going to be gagged, and he's not going to listen to the order, and he's going to let the chips fall where they may.
Well, we'll see what happens. This is also the earliest trial. I mean, this is March of 24, just 6 months from now. And she's indicated she won't adjourn it. The Court of Appeals that sits above her has a history and reputation of not getting involved in the management of trials. Most appellate courts don't like to get involved in the management of trials. So I think that trial is going to go forward. I don't know the exact date, but it's March of 24. That's the first of the four of them. Whatever it is, it's very close to Super Tuesday. If there is a Super Tuesday, he may have the Republican nomination by default by then. Chris Christie, my longtime friend, I don't necessarily support him because, my views, but I'm loyal to my friends, has put all of his eggs in the basket of New Hampshire. If he stays in 5% in New Hampshire, I can't imagine him proceeding beyond that. Mike Pence, single digits. Ron DeSantis seems to go down in the polls every time he speaks.
Right.
Now, Fox is hosting a debate. I don't know if you know this. I don't mean the Republican candidates debate. I mean a one-on-one, Ron DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. Did you see that? The governor of California and the governor of Florida.
Well, and I don't know how Sean Hannity's going to behave himself as a moderator. I really
Listen, I've known and worked with Sean for 30 years. There's not a neutral bone in his body. I've never heard of Sean as a moderator. Maybe between the Yankees and the Mets. That's about it.
Well, and I think I'm remembering hearing this from you that Roger Ailes told you the best question is like the shortest possible. I don't know if Sean ever 5 words.
Right.
Like I don't know if Hannity's ever taken that advice into heart. I'm not sure, but it's all in good fun. But again, folks, talking to Judge Andrew Napolitano. You can always go to judgenap.com or just check out his podcast, Judging Freedom. I tend to watch on YouTube. Here on the show, we've been playing the back and forth within the Congress between folks like Matt Gaetz and the Freedom Caucus against Kevin McCarthy and the establishment. But this argument over Ukraine funding in particular, when it comes to funding the government, like here in Alabama, our congressional delegation is split right down the middle. You've got, say, Senator Britt, people like Dale Strong of Huntsville that really want to spend more money in Ukraine. They give that line, best money we've ever spent. And you've got folks like Barry Moore, our congressman here, or Senator Tuberville, that are saying this is a waste of money. What are we doing? This is insane. Did you happen, I frame that because did you happen to see the 60 Minutes piece where this isn't just weapons and military spending? We're funding everything in that country, including like small boutique businesses in the middle of Kiev.
I didn't see the 60 Minutes piece, but I'm going to be talking to Scott Ritter about it at 2:00 this afternoon Eastern. We are financing farmers. We are paying veterans benefits equal to, and in some cases better than, the veterans benefits that the VA pays American veterans here. And I wonder if Congress even knows about this. This is the problem with these presidential drawdowns. Congress gives the president a blank check. The Constitution prohibits them, by the way, Joey. It doesn't prohibit them expressly, but it says no money shall be spent except that which is recorded in a public journal. Joe Biden can spend that money legally, not constitutionally, legally, however he wants. We are really propping up the Ukraine government. On my show later today, Tony Schaefer is going to argue that some of the conditions that American troops live in the United States are worse than, hard to believe, worse than the conditions that the VA and those folks live in Ukraine.
And I would just encourage our audience here in Montgomery and the surrounding areas, check out Judging Freedom for all sorts of reasons, but in particular, the coverage of this war in Ukraine. It is remarkable. And you bring on dissenting voices, too. It's not just one point of view. And I really appreciate that and always like picking your brain because of all those guests you have every week.
We have the great Professor John Mearsheimer today, who's the foremost political theorist in the country. Once a liberal Democrat. He may still be, but he makes the best academic case against Ukraine prevailing that I know of. He's at 5 o'clock Eastern, at 2 o'clock Eastern. We have Scott Ritter with all this latest stuff. Okay, the tanks have arrived. Big deal. It's too little, too late. And of course, we're going to talk about this bizarre event in the Canadian Parliament. I don't know if you saw this.
Yeah.
And Prime Minister Trudeau's comments afterwards, in which he said, Russia's fault that there was a Nazi in the Parliament. This is just crazy. It gets crazier and crazier.
Well, and I have two quick follow-ups for you, because I know you've talked to many others about the ins and outs of the Senator Menendez case there. But I'm more wanting to pick your mind on what is he thought of, how is Menendez thought of in New Jersey and that whole media market there? And I bring that up because I'm seeing a lot of Democrats say, just resign, Bob, just resign.
Oh, well, prior to last Friday, he's the king of the hill in New Jersey. He's not only the senior senator, he's in the top 5 most powerful senators in the country, just right after Schumer and McConnell, because of his chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. He got his way in so many little things, and universally praised and highly regarded. He survived one of these indictments before, and then, according to the government, within 2 weeks of that case being thrown out, started on this present scheme. But the law is different now. After the McDonnell case, a unanimous Supreme Court opinion, the government has to show that he was bribed, and in return for that bribery, exercised official levers of government power. Not did favors for friends, not lobbied other government officials for friends, but actually did something he was empowered to do corruptly, like voted a different way than he would have voted because they bribed him to do it. So it's not all that cut and dry. What looks really bad and absurd and is the subject of much mockery is, who keeps $480,000 and $100 bills around their house for an emergency?
Right. And then when I saw the gold bars, I'm like, is this what a 5-year-old thinks of bribery cases to be? It's like, we've got the gold. Yeah. It's,
right. Exactly.
And I have one more follow-up, and I didn't tell your producer, I apologize, but I think this is right in your wheelhouse. It happened here in Alabama. Well, it's actually Wisconsin and Alabama butting heads. The head coach of the Auburn football team, the baseball team, the basketball team, all put together and invited, it wasn't mandatory, invited their players and anybody they knew to a big revival at Auburn. I believe the assistant baseball coach and his wife were putting on this revival. It was like a big concert evangelical thing. Afterwards, about 200 students went down to this thing called the Red Barn and were baptized in the little pond there. And some of the coaches were actually doing the baptizing. We covered it. We talked about it, thought it was interesting. Then the Freedom from Religion Foundation out of Wisconsin says, this is illegal. This is unconstitutional. Y'all are public employees at a public university, and you should fire the chaplains on your team, and you should fire these coaches. When you hear that, what say you, Judge?
Well, under the Kennedy opinion, that's the coach kneeling at a 50-yard line with his players in order to say a Hail Mary, which is really not only Catholic, super Catholic. I mean, half of the Christians don't even say the Hail Mary because it's just Catholic. I mean, it's about as sectarian as you can get. And the court said that was okay. I can't see them stopping, although I really never heard of this, people being baptized at a bar. But under canon law, if the person doing the baptizing is him or herself a baptized Christian, doesn't even have to be Catholic, and if they use water, and if there's proper mental formation and intent, it's a valid baptism.
Oh, wow.
The question is it constitutional? I think it probably is under that Supreme Court opinion. Prior to that Kennedy opinion, I don't think it would have been. But after that Kennedy opinion, it's called Kennedy because the coach's name is Kennedy. After that Kennedy opinion, I think the federal courts will stay out of this.
And maybe it's me just being raised here, but if what those coaches did is illegal in this country, I don't know what that country I live in anymore. So I'm glad to hear that recent case. As always, I appreciate your time. Say hello to the songbirds outside to me.
Yeah.
And always appreciate it, Judge. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Joey. Always the best. All my best to you.
Thank you. Again, that's Judge Andrew Napolitano. Great having him on the program. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the show. We got to hit a quick break here. First, I want to say hello to the gentleman across from me in the studio. Eddie Bader's here.
How you doing, Joey?
I'm all right.
We're doing.
Yeah, like I'm used to just the obligatory. Yeah, I'm great. No, not really. I'm not, but I'll survive. We're going to trudge on here. And Sky Mosley is also here.
It's great to be here, Joey.
Great to have you in the studio, man. So let's hit this break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And folks, if you're looking for custom-made jewelry, or maybe you're looking to get that jewelry repaired, or that watch you bought your husband about 10 years ago, expensive watch, it broke. Well, they can do watch repairs.
They sure can.
They can do spa treatments, they call it, or cleanings.
Yep.
Even pearl stringing. Maybe you have inherited some diamonds or some other precious stones you want it looked at. They can do that for you there, Dillon Rings.
They also do friendship bracelets.
Yeah.
I'm telling you here lately, Joey,
mine's still on my nightstand.
I've heard more talk about friendship bracelets in the last probably 2 weeks than I've ever heard in my life. More and more people are. I guess it's becoming a thing. We were leading the pack apparently on that.
Okay, well then I'll get mine reconnected if you like.
I will as well.
It's on my nightstand.
Yeah,
you got it.
If the relationship's good enough to get it repaired, then go ahead, Joe.
I'm amazed it's still on your wrist, like all the work you've been doing.
The other day, literally, my hand was almost up to my elbow in concrete, wet concrete. So I assumed when I pulled this out,
yeah, it was going to break.
All
didn't.
All good.
Wow. So they do it all there at Dillon Rings is the point, folks. Whether it's that friendship bracelets, like permanent jewelry as they call it. It's fun great for a party, a shower, something like that. But of course, high-end jewelry selection, as well as that everyday jewelry that it's not the end of the world if you lose it or mess it up, but it still looks great wearing it around town on a normal day.
Shine going on there.
So they really do it all there at Dillon Rings. Check them out today. You can always go to DillonRings.com. That's DillonRings.com. Or you can always go by the showroom, 119 Brown Springs Road. It's that simple. 119 Brown Springs Road. And I believe the birthday boy discount still applies.
Are you kidding me?
To particular items until it's still September, right?
It is September.
So if you go in 119 Brown Springs Road, say, hey, I'm looking at I heard of this birthday boy discount.
Yeah.
Because this month it was the birthday of the namesake of Dillon Rings. So 25% off on select items. Be sure to bring up the birthday boy. Bonus points if you say Sean Dillon. Now let's hit this break. We'll be right back, folks, with Papa B and others at 272-9228.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Actor portrayal based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group. Here's your Real Estate Minute. What's the secret behind selling your home fast and selling it for fair market value or above? There's no secret, but here's some suggestions that I've learned over 46 years in the real estate business. First, price it right. Based on other sales in your neighborhood, what should it sell for? Second, make sure all the little and big repairs you may have put off all get done before you put it on the market. Third, consider making some improvements to your house first, repainting inside and out, updating the flooring, professionally clean the whole house. Fourth, consider helping the buyer with a portion of closing costs and providing a warranty too. Number 5, don't try to do this on your own. Hire a professional realtor to provide facts, tips in selling, and guidance all the way through the transaction. Also work with the best realtors from the Goodson Group, fully trained, service-oriented folks. Call Bo Goodson 221-2883 or the Goodson Group 551-0225.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Hi, this is Dr. Brad Schaefer. As a podiatrist, I can tell you no two people's feet are alike, which is why I recommend Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotic inserts. They're customized for your feet, so you get a unique solution your feet really need, not just a one-size-fits-all insole. They're clinically proven to provide pain relief for achy feet, knees, lower back, plantar fasciitis, and heels. Take the Dr. Scholl's custom fit orthotics assessment in Walmart today, now in the foot care aisle.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. We got a full house here. We got both Eddie Vader and Sky Mosley in the studio. How you gentlemen doing?
Aye.
All right.
Diggity.
All right. And Micah Allen, who, good to hear from you, man. Went all the way back to elementary school, like kindergarten.
Really?
And I see what he's doing on the Book of Faces. He's doing well.
He's trying to keep up with you because he
I
still owes
don't
money.
know. I think it's water under the bridge at this point. Well,
those
is
blow
$20 from the 90s worth anything now?
I figured he probably gave you some credit back in elementary school as a blow pops, and you've never paid the man, and interest has finally built up where it's even $20 at this point.
Why'd you have to say blow pops?
What'd you guys call him?
And then you've got on Facebook, you're sitting here offering me to go eat 10 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I'm not stuffing weenies down my face right in front of you and God and everybody.
Joey, it's your opportunity to show the world how you can shove hot dogs down your throat. It's your opportunity.
Well, you know that's not true.
I don't know it's not true because I've never seen you not do it.
You do know it's not true.
I've never seen you not do it. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Micah asked, who has the contracts to rebuild Ukraine? That's a great question.
Got to be Halliburton. That's my guess.
Oh, it's spread out. It's all over the place.
Yeah.
Probably companies we know, but they've changed their names.
Right.
No, this is a massive undertaking. When you're spending this amount of money, I mean, you're going to get folks who are financiers. You're going to get the folks who have to move the weapons, folks that have to oversee how the money is transferred around the country, people applying for these loans so their business can stay up.
Then you got those folks that are going to be collecting the application fees
Right.
That's just scamming right off the top.
Not to mention all the NGOs in the country
Yeah.
that
I
have
wonder
been
how
there
much
for a
money is
while.
going to be made off of clandestine.
Not enough to pay us back
Okay.
for all the money they've stolen from
Right.
us.
I mean, I'm talking about the underside. Ukraine's
This
been
guy.
It's the
bag man of the world for so
Well,
long, and now
we got rid of
it's coming to
Afghanistan so
fruition.
we could do Ukraine.
Right.
Oh, no, guys, I'm sorry. I got distracted because Romex Angler, before we even started the show, he said, "Man, did you see the Succaneers last?" I did. I did see them. Thank you.
How did they do, Joe?
Awful. They were playing the Eagles. It's what I expected.
I have
Too
Chris
many
Godwin,
turnovers.
and it's just
Yeah.
just get rid of him, cut him down.
Yeah, I got Godwin too on my fantasy team.
Great minds.
Yeah, but
Great minds sucking alike.
yeah, but
Didn't
again,
work out.
it was the Eagles, so I didn't expect to win. I really didn't. Like our defense still looks pretty great, but
What was the score, you know?
like 20-something to 9 or 20-something to 11. I
All
believe.
right, so it wasn't a Colorado score. Okay.
No. It's just our offense is awful. Like it's not
Are we talking Auburn?
there yet. Yeah, I don't know.
Are we talking Auburn here?
You know how many
It's not an
seasons I've
NFL
had being a
offense.
Buccaneers fan and an Auburn guy of like we both suck.
I actually had somebody tell me this weekend, "You're not upset about the Auburn loss?" I'm like, no, dude, we had 2 good runs.
Hugh Freeze said before the game, we're not there yet. Before the game.
I'm an Auburn fan, baby. We got 2 W's under our
How's
belt
Bo
already.
Nix doing up in Oregon?
Oh,
We
man.
got the same. Right now, we have the same as Alabama. We're both
3-1.
3-1.
Again, I heard the death silence when I mentioned Bo Nix.
Let's go to Papa B. Hey, Papa B.
Well, yeah, you know, maybe not all Auburn fans are like this, but for me, you know, it's just in the bone, brother, in the blood. I can't
Oh, yeah.
help it. It's not, you know, my family just has such a long history. Yeah, I mean, I made it through the Barfield years. How much worse could it get, you know?
See, I was spoiled when I went through Auburn. My senior year was the Cam Newton year. And by
No,
spoiled,
yeah.
I mean I'll try to watch an Auburn game and I'm like, it's not Cam.
Right. You know, and I've kind of laughed at some of these Alabama fans. Not all of them, so don't send me nasty texts. But, boy, lose the game and they're ready to hoist the coach up on a rig, you know, and hang him or something. I mean, the guy's done pretty good over I don't know how many years now. Nothing good ever lasts forever, though.
Of
things
course.
always come to an end, you know, and so it is with, I think, some of our friends, our Democrat friends too. Bob Menendez in particular. You know, when you squeeze some Democrat, they poop race cards. They
I've
truly
never
get
heard
belts.
that before. I don't
Yeah, oh yeah. There's no doubt. And Bob Menendez is no different. You know, he got caught doing something years ago and, you know, beat the rap somehow or other. But how bad does it have to be when you have John Fetterman telling you ought to resign? It's got to be bad, dude.
Oh, it's real bad.
Cory Booker. How bad does it have to be when you have Cory Booker telling you to resign? I don't think we've done anything but scratch the surface on what's going on with Bob Menendez. What do y'all think?
Papa B, you gave me an idea, bringing up Fetterman in the context of this. And I think this could actually be, sometimes, you know, when it's a bad situation, whatever the situation might be, whether it's a senator acting up or the people just don't trust the institutions, they're being rowdy, they're storming capitals and these sorts of things. You got to come up with a deterrent, right? You got to have the biggest deterrents to kind of. You don't want to just live on fear alone, but it's better to be feared than loved. Maybe you can get both. But here's what I mean: you don't get a fighter jet that's state of the art. You don't get one of these UFOs that are now all the rage. It's not even nukes that do it. The change of dress code. I don't know how this went uncommented on by this show, but did you see what Senator Susan Collins of Maine said? I'm with the change of. I'm gonna wear a bikini.
What?
And it's like, no.
That's it. That was the threat.
Bob Menendez, I'm gonna wear a
going
bikini and
nuclear, man.
show up in your office, or you should resign. He resigns the next day.
She made her point.
All you Tea Party people think your liberties and wealth are being stolen. All you MAGA semi-fascists, don't make Susan get undressed.
No, thank you.
Oh, no, anything but that.
Right.
That is a deterrent.
And it was.
But
I do Pilates. I'm in good shape.
I thought she was into yoga.
She's just, there's something about Susan Collins. I don't know. I really don't know what her IQ level is. I think that she's challenged, to put it nicely.
Do you think that's because
just
of
comes
her?
off that way.
You think that's because of her age, or just she was that way?
No, she's always been that way. To me, I hate to use the R word, but I think that might be part of it. We'll see. Anyway, all right, guys. Well, we'll see what happens with the Menendez.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he can have his day in court. From what Napolitano told me, it sounds like he could actually fight it. They're going to have to prove he did these. It's a quid pro quo very clearly. But it does look pretty awful.
Sure.
So far.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks.
Isn't it curious how long ago the raid occurred before the charges were brought?
Sure.
Yeah.
So odd, I thought.
Well, they had to connect the dots, I think.
The gold bars and the money in the safe.
Right.
When he goes to jail, I think we should take a road trip and dig up his backyard, because I got a feeling we'll find some more gold bars buried in his backyard.
Well, and it really stinks that the bars had stamped on them from Egypt to Bob. I think that's going to hurt his case.
Yikes!
That was a different Bob.
I bought him at the
That was Bob.
At the discount gold store.
Right. That was Bob Poppycock, not Bob Menendez. Like, what are you talking about? That's not from.
I just wonder what Menendez did. Who did he?
I would be more like,
what
what
did he
didn't
do?
He's
Why
had-
has he been?
He probably greased the skids on something.
I'm sure, but he's been linked to several salacious deals too.
Well, and what else is new in politics, especially with the Democrat Party? But what did this guy?
But again,
what really?
we need to go with age limits and term limits.
If you want to know
one in office, one in prison.
Ooh,
I'm
excellent.
down with that.
I'm good with that.
If you want to know what Bob Menendez is probably up to, you just need to look at Biden corruption. So Biden, remember the judge, Napolitano just told us Menendez is now the chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. That was the committee Biden ran and was on for so long. And when you're on that committee, you make a lot of contacts overseas. It's actually Jeff Sessions, our senator, before he became AG, was there, and it's because he was meeting with Kislyak, which was part of a job, that he got in trouble in the press for some reason. Now, that Senate Foreign Relations slot is a pretty big one, especially if you're willing to,
a little influence on the side, maybe?
A little bit under the table here or there. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And I suspect that's what Menendez is exactly what he was up to.
Okay.
But maybe.
So it's just your plain old everyday corruption and fraud.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got a big name. I know how to move the levers of power. And in fact, I'd imagine there are a lot of folks up there that do this all the time.
Nice.
Some are just better at it than others.
Did you see his wife, by the way?
Yeah.
Bob Menendez's
what is
wife?
going
No.
on there?
Reminds me of Stifler's mom just a little bit.
I was wondering if it,
Just a little bit.
Now you have my attention.
Well,
take a peek.
got mine.
Folks might not get the reference. It's a generational thing. But the first time, I was a teenager when American Pie came out.
Yeah.
And even at like 15, 16 years old, I could relate with the guy.
strongly affected.
Of course you could.
Doesn't it make sense? You think of those characters in that movie, of all the dudes who are trying to get some before
definitely
prom.
That was Joey.
That
was Joey. There's not a doubt in my mind now.
Yeah.
More than ever, that's Joey Clark.
Yeah. It is what it is. At least I'm not
rewatch it this week.
At least I'm not Jason Biggs in that movie.
Yeah.
Like in that movie, it's funnier the older I get because that one scene where he gets caught.
Yeah.
The main reason for the title of the movie, and it's Eugene Levy, Jason Biggs, just sitting there at the table. This pie is completely destroyed. He goes, "Well, we'll just tell your mom we ate it all."
What an actor, man.
Oh man, no wonder I came out so warped. Like the movies that were big when I was a teenager, the cartoons were stuff like Ren and Stimpy.
Right. Then how did your
Beavis and
generation
Butthead.
get so easily offended? That's what
See,
I don't
but
understand.
Actually, it's not people my age.
Yeah?
And like you boomers don't get offended.
Boomers?
The boomers?
Well, son, it's actually a republic, not a democracy.
Yeah, you've heard me say that how many times?
You're not a boomer. You're a Gen Xer. You just want to burn everything down. You're an
Burn it all
anarchist.
down, baby. Burn it all down.
Can I join up with you? Come on. Okay. I'm in.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometime.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes. I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh, my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
It's fall, y'all, at Mama's Produce, and boy, do we have what you need. We have mums of every color. Corn stalks will be in soon, pumpkins. We have fall flowers and fall vegetables. And don't forget to check out our Facebook page, Mama's Produce. We post what we have as soon as it comes in so that you're right there. Check out our gift ideas as well.
Y'all come on down to Mama's, right next to Prattville Farm Center, 1154 South Memorial Drive. Everybody loves Mama's.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We've got a series of disturbances drifting through that'll keep the mention of showers in the forecast for at least the next 2 or 3 days. It's going to be another warm one with a high in the upper 80s to around 90. Scattered random hit-or-miss storms for some lucky towns, especially this afternoon and this evening. Low tonight, 69. The storms will be in more generous supply, I think, tomorrow. Better odds on getting wet with a high around 86. And then maybe a few spotty leftover showers on Thursday, perhaps. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
At ASE Credit Union, financing your next adventure is easier than ever with rates as low as 5.25%. Apply online or visit your local branch today. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. 272-9228. This part of News and Views brought to you by, Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, they can help all you men out. It doesn't matter whether or not you got a testosterone problem, maybe you're having trouble with prostate or other sexual
Metabolism
health.
could be a problem too.
Metabolism could be an issue, but it could be ED, could be PE.
Could be.
Which is worse. We don't need to go into it. But Montgomery Men's Health can help you no matter your issue. They're reinventing men's health care. If you're a guy, you're a fella, and you don't feel as comfortable with your GP or your regular doctor and all that, why not go by Montgomery Men's Health? They specialize in helping you get better.
Yep.
And if you are feeling run down all day, if you are feeling tired, like physically and mentally, if you're never in the mood, so to speak, it could, in fact, be low testosterone. And so what you need to do is make an appointment, 440-3663. That's the number for Montgomery Men's Health. And for only $99 in about an hour, you can know your testosterone numbers, as well as get a PSA score, which is a great marker for prostate health without it being quite as invasive of a check. And if you do, in fact, have low T, they have treatments there that can change your life at Montgomery Men's Health, from higher energy most men experience to better gains in the gym.
Brother.
Right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns. You might even notice an increased sex drive.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that, Joe.
Indeed. So call them up, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com and be sure to tell them, well, you heard about them here on News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go to Red Top. Hello, Red Top.
What up, Red Top?
Man, Eddie, you ought to be able to appreciate this. I just left Hog Rock Barbecue, which may be one of the best restaurants I've ever eaten in my life. Joey, this food is so fresh, it's out of the pot all day long, and there's no better nutrition than food that's right out of the pot. I don't care how many damn pills you pop. Ain't going to be as good as that stuff. Now, I'd like to bring up something and give everybody a reality check, because somebody needs to stay there. Diabetes and obesity is rampant in this country. I have now come across 6 of my friends within the past year who have died because they were overweight and had diabetes. And this had everything to do with the tragedy at the station this last week. 90% of the people are overweight in this country. We got to do something about this, guys. I see people waddling back and forth.
Yeah.
If severe clinics are getting that we spend $1 trillion on dialysis.
All right.
So,
hey, Red Top, you're breaking up really bad, brother.
If I don't say it, nobody
will.
Right. Appreciate the call, Red Top. 272-9228. But beyond what we talked about with the judge, which it is true, Trump's numbers continue to rise to the point where I'm going to play an MSNBC clip. It's that Steve. Well, no, this guy's a numbers guy. He's a nerd. Steve Kornacki. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah, like in Kornacki, he's a nerd.
He's a nerd.
You know, numbers are numbers. You can fudge him a little bit and massage him a little bit, but usually the nerds, whatever the news organization, are probably good people to know. At the end of the day,
Sure.
I kind of like the folks who's like, well, it's not my fault. Like the engineer types, especially if they have to like talk to a woman. Oh, it's miserable. Honey, I've calculated. It's like, that's not what she wants, you dope.
I had an engineer friend of mine at Hyundai, and they had just had a brand new baby. He was such a nerd, he calculated how often they changed the diaper. And then he broke it down to whether it would be number 1 or number 2. He was the king of nerds.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway, we'll get to that in a second. But also more, and we're going to play, if I've confined it, that 60 Minutes, at least portions of the 60 Minutes piece about how the money's being spent in Ukraine.
Yes, very interesting.
Of course, at Alabama news, big news and developing when it comes to redistricting. Of course, those maps were dropped yesterday. Special master put them out.
Okay.
It means that it doesn't mean, if these are the ones adopted, that Jerry Carl and Barry Moore, our congressmen,
they're going to have to go head to head.
They're going to have to go head to head, which is a shame. Jerry Carl made it very clear that he is running again.
Yeah.
We need to see if there's been any statement put out by Congressman Moore. Though knowing Barry, I think he's probably going to run again.
Yeah.
That's going to be tough. I mean, my knee jerk is I'm going to have to support my guy, Barry Moore.
It's tough. It is tough. He was just on 1819.
But I like Jerry Carl a lot too.
I do too.
That's the problem. So here's the latest news, though. Steve Marshall tried to file, the Attorney General of the state, file for a stay is what it's called.
Okay.
So he wanted the Supreme Court, A.G. Marshall wanted the Supreme Court to stay or just stop this new map put out by the special master. The court, here's the news, rejected that stay. Now, this does not mean that it's finally over. In response, Marshall has now filed a full appeal on the merits of the case, and we'll see whether or not the Supreme Court accepts it. If they do, this could be anybody's game if they actually accept it. I think this dies most likely by them just saying we're not going to hear it.
Yeah.
If they accept it, and also Steve Marshall ends up with a win here. I mean, it's a heck of a. You thought Tommy Tuberville was a riverboat gambler. This is a heck of a move. Like, I'm putting it all on black, baby.
Would you say it's a governor-esque move? Ooh. Just wondering.
A governor-esque move?
Yeah, a move if possibly it's the right thing to do, but also it kind of puts you in a lead position.
Yeah, but Steve Marshall's great, but I don't know if he's Goose.
Ooh, I didn't think about that, Joey.
Like, we already got a golden goose in
do.
Alabama, and he's kicking
We do.
butt. Actually, he really is. Good job, Will Ainsworth.
Yeah.
Parents.
So, I think it's those two are the most clear that are running or could run for governor.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen in that regard? And honestly, I like both those gentlemen a lot.
too.
They both be good governors.
I don't agree on everything Steve Marshall does, but for the most part,
Yeah.
I like him.
And so this is a bit of a trick play, a bit of a Hail Mary pass or something like that to try to get this back in front of the court and test certain other precedents when it comes to election law and the Voting Rights Act. So we'll see where it goes.
What if
What do
the
you got to
state
lose?
just refused to comply?
What?
Yeah.
We are part of these United States.
We're Alabamians first. Do we not control our own state?
I don't know. What do you think? We're Texas all of a
What
sudden?
if we just don't comply?
You ever heard of Lincoln? Ever heard of Grant?
Yeah,
You ever heard of Eisenhower sending troops down to the South?
I want a rematch.
Kennedy threatening it too?
I want a rematch. I think we can take it.
Don't start that.
That's Joey's favorite thing to talk about.
Oh man, no! The whole war between the states or Civil War conversation that's a heck of a can of
thought it
worms
was
in
the
these
war
parts.
of
We
Northern
dare
aggression.
defend our rights.
Right.
Sometimes. When it's convenient.
Right. I don't know. I don't have as much esteem as some might for the aristocracy of the old South.
That's not the issue, though.
they were the ones running everything, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, rich man's war, poor
Right.
man's fight.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm getting at.
Sure.
But here, let's hit a break. More news and views in just a moment. Quick break here.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Is your cell phone or iPad cracked, broken, or not working right? Don't let the big carrier stores sucker you into a new $1,100 device. Let XI Repair fix your device today. XI Repair fixes cell phones, computers, laptops, iPads, game consoles, drones, and more. Their certified technicians fix hundreds of devices every day. When your device needs care, call XI Repair, 334-777-1234, or Google XI Repair.
Hi, I'm Ashley Smith, owner of Rick's Jewelers. The results we saw after a few weeks running on Blue Water Broadcasting were phenomenal. Our sales rep was easy to work with, and we have been pleased with how helpful the entire team has been. We will continue to run our campaigns across the Blue Water family of stations, especially as we gear up for our busiest time of year.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader and Sky Mosley here in the studio.
How you doing, Joey?
With me.
Looking good in that shirt.
I appreciate it. I'm powering through. Honestly, I feel tired. And I don't mean physically. I slept pretty good last night. But it was just, you know what I mean, folks. Emotionally spent.
Yep.
Emotionally spent is the word. But what are you going to do? As my great-grandfather would say. Yeah, just trudge onward.
That's right. That's what we got to do.
By the way, your column,
yeah,
the tribute to Jack Campbell.
Thank you.
It's wonderwall, beautifully
really
written. Some of your best work.
Thank you, and I appreciate everybody who's been reaching out. I won't name everybody. I don't want to leave anybody out, but the text, the messages, so many of the words of love and care. I really appreciate it for me, for Jack, for everybody surrounding Jack Campbell. Really do appreciate it. That said, Sky, I was trying to go to, we got a short segment here, getting me all sad again. How about this? You remember the Free Britney movement? Free Britney Spears.
Yeah, she's crazy, man.
Like, are you sure she's crazy?
She's crazy, man.
I don't know if she's actually crazy. Like her father, I mean, was just being domineering, right?
I'm not saying that it's not her fault she's crazy, but she's crazy, man.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's what to do.
Certifiable?
We've got a piece of evidence. Certifiable, that's almost a slur, kind sir.
She has
and after
those
our
traits,
conversation about history, you better watch it. You better watch, both of you better. You didn't even say a word, and I know what you were thinking, Eddie.
I thought it.
Better watch yourself.
I thought it.
But, folks, this is Britney Spears just, I think, yesterday or something like that. Throwing it on this live stream. If you want to see this, go to the live stream. And it's not just a still photo. It's a dance she decided to do. But can you see what she's holding there in both hands?
I don't.
Here, I'll just... I'll start the video.
Oh, hello.
I'm gonna... Is that Enya she's playing?
That's interpretive dance, Joey.
With butcher knives. Awesome.
She wants to be a chef at one of those famous Japanese places.
Somebody save those dogs behind her. You see how the dogs are reacting?
Is that a little mini pig?
Like, I don't want to make fun of mental illness, but this is absolutely insane. If you came home and your wife or girlfriend or daughter or whoever was sitting there dancing in the kitchen to Gregorian chant music with kitchen knives in both hands, clinking them together in a bikini.
You're telling me in an alternate universe, if your girlfriend sent you that, you would say she's crazy? Or would you rush to get home?
Look at the eyes.
I would say she's
she's
crazy.
had those crazy eyes forever.
I would say she's crazy.
That's the definition of crazy eyes, right?
I see a difference
Like,
between
that is not healthy behavior. And look at the little dogs behind her. If those dogs could talk, man. This is what's on camera. Can you imagine what's happening off camera? Wow.
How old is she now?
She's got to be 45, maybe? 40 plus?
She might even be. Yeah, well, yeah. She's close to 40 or in her 40s.
She's holding up nicely.
I ain't crazy.
Man, what? She was a huge star, especially when I was a kid. That was a big deal. And, no, I remember being young.
I bet you do.
I remember being young and,
yeah.
And the Oops, I Did It Again video came out, and I was like, Grandma, excuse me, I'm watching this video.
You're going to have to leave the room.
Yeah. And then my dad would watch that Hit Me Baby One More Time. Yeah. And I'm like, see, this is why we can't have nice things. Think about how depraved our culture has been for so long.
Crossover generational hit, baby.
So if you want to check out the latest with Britney, just go to the live stream.
Be prepared.
Joey Clark Live on YouTube.
Maybe she's sharpening those knives.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. Congress returning to work in crisis mode with 5 days to go before a possible government shutdown. The House expected to vote today on a package of funding bills, but it's not all clear that Speaker Kevin McCarthy has the support needed. In the meantime, the Senate trying to stave off a federal closure with its own bipartisan plan for a stopgap measure. President Biden joining the United Auto Workers in Michigan today, the 12th day of their strike. In the meantime, a spokesman for Donald Trump says the Biden visit with striking auto workers is pure politics. The deal is made, the pickets suspended, Hollywood writers on the verge of getting back to work. A planned vote today from their union governing board on the tentative agreement. After that, then, would come a vote from the writers themselves. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We've got a series of disturbances drifting through that'll keep the mention of showers in the forecast for at least the next 2 or 3 days. It's going to be another warm one with a high in the upper 80s to around 90. Scattered random hit-or-miss storms for some lucky towns, especially this afternoon and this evening. Low tonight, 69. The storms will be in more generous supply, I think, tomorrow. Better odds on getting wet with a high around 86. And then maybe a few spotty leftover showers on Thursday, perhaps. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The MVP on a football field may change on any given Saturday, but the MVP in every other field is a Kubota. John Bobo with Capital Tractor. With the #1 selling compact tractor in America, Kubota equipment is a game changer. Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting Newsroom, here's today's top stories. An 18-year-old charged in a double shooting a few months ago is back in jail. Jason Williams of Montgomery was on bail for attempted murder when he was arrested Sunday. The new arrest charges him with first-degree assault and discharging a firearm into an occupied vehicle on September 14th. Montgomery attorney Richard Allen has filed 3 proposals to redraw Alabama's congressional map. Allen was assigned special master by a federal court after Alabama legislators failed to draw a map the court would accept. A federal panel had ruled the current map failed to give black voters fair representation. Classes were canceled at Tuskegee University Monday following a weekend shooting. Authorities say it occurred at an unauthorized party at the West Commons student apartment complex. 2 people were shot, several students injured. From the Blue Water Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
It's the 70th Alabama National Fair, October 6th through the 15th. Enjoy the rides, circus, shows, and the food.
I really enjoy munching my way down the Midway. I can just smell all the great food I love. Giant turkey legs, funnel cakes, corn dogs, and anything deep fried.
Get the free Fair app at your app store. Coliseum Clear Bag policy in effect. 17 and under must be accompanied by an adult 21 or over.
It's the best 10 days of fall.
For October 6th through the 15th.
Alabama National Fair.
Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
During Prattville Carpet's summer sale, you can get Mohawk waterproof flooring, regularly priced at $11 per foot installed, right now priced at $7 per foot installed. That's huge summer savings. And get interest-free financing for up to 12 months with approved credit. Call 285-8117 or visit PrattvilleCarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader in the house, as is Sky Mosley. And joining us now, great to see her back in the studio here, Madeline Cannon with Alabama Home Mortgage. How you doing, Madeline?
Doing well.
You are looking lovely as ever.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You have this glow about you.
Post-pregnancy glow?
Yes, you
do. Well, maybe it's all the staying up all night.
Now, were you able to take like the 30 minutes off to deliver the baby and then get back to work? Is that how you did
something
this?
like that.
30 minutes. That's the leave they give these days.
You did clock out too, right?
That's right. That's right.
No, but you were like pretty quick back to getting some work done, right?
Oh yeah, I stay busy, but I actually got back into the office yesterday. So
Okay.
Good deal. That was your first day back.
It was good. We spent much of the day in Hoover. We had a big mortgage professionals conference up there yesterday. So
Cool. Did some training, I guess.
Well, that and also just meeting with other people, to get their take on what's going on in the market.
Awesome. So what is going on with this market of ours here?
The same old. Rates are not where people want them to be, but there are really big refinance opportunities right now, especially for those that have a lot of consumer credit card debt. So although rates are a lot higher than they have been, right now there's more consumer credit than ever before. And so we're staying busy with people who are looking to debt consolidate, so we can pay those credit cards off once and for all. And instead of making minimum monthly payments, we're going to wipe it clean and, get everything down so that your monthly expenses are much more manageable.
Well, and I'm wondering how many, obviously not naming names, but how many folks come in, they're like, well, I don't know about this mortgage rate at, wherever they're at these days, 7, 8, 9%. It's like, do you understand the interest rate on your credit card?
Oh, yeah. I think the stat I saw on Fox News the other day was that like 59% of American homeowners with a mortgage have a rate less than 4%. I can understand the pause or reservation someone may have about refinancing to debt consolidate, but by the same token, have you looked at the interest rate on your credit card?
The minimum payment that you'll never pay that credit card off.
That's right. Yeah, you get the statement each month, and you've made that, several of the minimum payments. If you owe a substantial amount of money at 22, 23, 24% interest, you're paying hundreds of dollars a month. You get the next statement, and it's like it's gone nowhere.
Well, and then
you're not even charged another dime on that account.
And you end up paying essentially what's equivalent to a mortgage payment on just debt itself, just servicing the debt that's hanging over you.
Yeah, for example, I spoke with somebody just before I came in, and we're doing just that, doing a debt consolidation refinance. We're paying off their existing mortgage, paying off a truck, tractor, and credit card debt. Right now, his total monthly expenses with those 4 accounts, he's got $2,800 going out each month.
Okay.
By refinancing, we're bringing it down to $1,800.
Oh, he's going to save $1,000 a month?
Just about.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. So yes, his interest rate's going from the 2s to the 7s, but hey, if you look at his monthly end cash flow, that's what's most important.
Well, not only that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I look down the road, interest rates change. They go up, they go down.
They've been going up.
Right. But eventually, someday, they will come back down again.
Absolutely.
So, like with me, I date my rate, but I married my house.
That's right.
So my rates are decent now, but if they come back down a couple %, I'll certainly jump back on it to refi.
And I definitely think it's not a matter of if, but when.
Yeah.
We really think, I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you for sure, but we think by this time next year, we're going to be seeing rates, hopefully in the 5s. I think that's realistic. And if that's the case, then everybody who's refinanced or bought a home in the last 2 years, there will be a huge refinance opportunity for them.
Well, and anybody, like you said, if you're in that situation, you get a great deal. But then the deal gets even better, right, if you're a veteran and you haven't taken those VA home loan benefits.
That's right. So the great thing about the VA refinance program is for those veterans that already have a VA loan, we can look at doing an interest rate reduction loan. So as long as your new rate will be at least 0.5 percentage point less than what you currently have, we can do it with no appraisal and no income verification. So it's a great streamlined process. But on the flip side, if you're looking to get cash out, we can lend up to 100% of your home's value, which is huge. That's exclusive to the VA program. Every other loan program, you're capped at 80% of the home's value.
Well, that's incredible. Yeah, no, it's the best deal in town for in so many aspects.
Yeah.
There of the home loan market, but there are a lot of veterans, right, still that don't even know about it.
Oh yeah, there's a fraction of the veteran community that are eligible for these loans that actually have them. And I don't know if it's poor job on our part as far as educating the veterans to let them know exactly what benefits are available to them. But there are a lot of veterans who think if I've used the VA home loan program in the past and I'm not eligible to use it again. That's not the case. You can use your VA home loan eligibility multiple times. You can actually have more than one VA loan open at a time.
That's a big question I get all the time.
Yes.
Is can I have more than one VA?
Yes.
See, what I wonder is, are there other shops that don't provide the service y'all do, and they just don't tell folks
Yeah, there's thousands.
There's a lot of them, right?
And I don't know that they necessarily do it intentionally. It's just a lack of knowledge and staying on top of things. I mean, we pride ourselves in being certified veteran lending specialists, so we do the extra work to keep up with the VA program, and it's ever changing so that we can market and take care of the veterans in the area.
Well, and I keep telling folks, too, when it comes to buying a home, you can look at the national headlines, international economic news. Like, I'll just admit I don't like the long-term trends. I don't like them at all. Some of the structural problems, but you can't make a decision like buying a home based on those sorts of headlines. You got to look at your own economy, right?
That's right. And rent's not getting any cheaper either.
Nope.
Right.
What's the interest rate on rent?
100%. That's exactly right. And I saw that the average rent right now this is nationwide, not in Montgomery, not in Alabama, but $2,800 a month.
I can tell you right now in Montgomery, I've got several rental properties in Highland Gardens. Okay, it's an area I was born in. Got a lot of houses over there. Average 2-bedroom, 1-bath house over there rents for $800 a month.
Yeah.
$800 a month, less than 1,000 square foot. And if the people were to move out tomorrow, I've got 200 more lined up to move in. Rentals, rentals right now, and the rental rate, honestly, the interest on a rental is 100%. You're not getting anywhere, and in a lot of places, you're not even building up credit. You're just helping your landlord.
That's right. You're paying a mortgage. You're just paying somebody else's mortgage.
Right. Well, have I forgotten anything before I let you go? It's great seeing you.
Well, thank you. I know, long time no see.
Hey, quick question before you go. While you were dealing in the hospital with all the nurses and stuff, did you run across any single women for, perhaps someone we might know?
Well, I'll just have to think. I wasn't thinking about our friend Joey during that time.
Oh, is it Joey we're talking about? Okay.
Nor should you be. Like, why are you bringing this up, Eddie?
We have a beautiful lady here.
No, you're talking about one of the most glorious, miraculous, joyful moments of her life, and you want to bring up my Eeyore love life?
Yes.
Throw that in the middle? No.
Yes, because right now it's fresh on her mind how many hot nurses that make good money are single.
See, I'm starting to think this is how Eddie, when he was dating, hit on women. You just annoy them until they won't. And fine, he's here to stay.
You just ratted me out.
Yeah, it just hit me all of a sudden. I'm sorry you had to see this, Madeline.
No, that's quite all right. I enjoy seeing you guys.
No, I love it when you come in, honey.
Oh, before we do forget, though, the number for Alabama.
Oh, that's right.
567-4223.
That's right. We're still at 567-4223, or you can complete an application on our website. That's myalabamahomemortgage.com.
And West number 158-6368, an equal housing lender. Great seeing you, Madeline.
Thank you. Good to see you guys.
More news and views when we come back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Picture this. A serene, tranquil resting place surrounded by nature's beauty. A place where memories are cherished and loved ones are forever remembered. We're talking about your final resting place, and it's never too early to start planning for it. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka has been family-owned and operated for over 55 years. We understand the importance of pre-need planning. You can make decisions that reflect your personal wishes. You can choose the perfect location, whether it's a serene garden, a peaceful mausoleum, or a place in our cremation wall. Pre-need planning alleviates the burden from your loved ones during a time of grief. By planning ahead, you can secure today's prices, protecting yourself and your family from future cost increases. So why wait? Contact Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka today. Your final resting place should be a reflection of your unique journey. Take control of your future and make pre-need planning a priority. Pineview Memorial Gardens in Wetumpka, where memories live on.
Actor Portrayal, based on a real patient experience.
I'm Mike. I'm a husband, proud father of 2, work my butt off 6 days a week, some nights too. When my family or my company needs me to make it happen, I make it happen. But a few months ago, I started having trouble making it happen, in the bedroom. I tried some pills online, but they didn't work. Honestly, I thought about throwing in the towel on my sex life, but I'm not that old. I still want to enjoy intimacy with my wife. Like that poet said, I don't want to just go gently into that good night. So I went to Montgomery Men's Health. Got some lab work done, was prescribed some meds, and wow, it made it happen. I can't say enough good about them. They took care of me, followed up, and made adjustments to make it happen even better. I even learned I had low testosterone, which they were also treating me for. And I have never felt better. If I were you and you're like me, I'd give them a call today at 334-440-3663 or go to montgomerymenshealth.com. If you like most guys, they'll make it happen for you too.
This is your roving reporter, and today I'm talking with a famous broadcaster.
Hey man, what's happening?
Now, I understand you radio people move a lot, is that correct?
Yeah, sometimes.
Well, how does this affect your taking care of your retirement money?
Oh man, I don't give that a second thought because my buddy David Ernest, he's my money man.
Your money man?
With the money plan.
I see.
So no matter where I go up and down the dial, David has my back, you know?
I'll bet you know some phone numbers our listeners could call to talk with David Ernest.
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
And he has a website at retirewithernest.com.
Hey, you're on top of it today, man.
I also understand that you hold some sort of a record in broadcasting.
Yes, I was the first person to put together a show with myself, a duck, a chicken, and a goose. But it didn't last long. We got taken off the air.
Why were you taken off the air?
Too much foul language, man.
Oh my.
So I wasn't crazy about that one myself.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Proof of the pudding's in the eating. I mean,
welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Eddie Bader and Sky Mosley in the house.
How you doing, Joey?
Well, I'm doing all right because we've got a scoop here from Axios.
A scoop?
Yeah, a scoop. Isn't that like when they first get something before anybody else?
I'm excited. I thought you had some chips.
Newspaper
yeah.
terms.
A scoop is I'm the first to get there, and exclusive is more like nobody else has this.
I was thinking like Fritos with some chips and dip.
Okay. You know, you've been doing well. You're looking skinnier these days.
It's not lack of eating, I can tell you that.
It's the shirt.
I haven't slowed down on the eating.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just looking at you.
Mocking my shirt? You're mocking my pool liner?
Yeah, it does look like a pool liner. Just a little bit.
It's inflatable. But it looks good on you, Eddie.
But here's the scoop from Axios. Biden teams don't let him trip mission.
Oh, good grief.
Now, is that trip in the, like, falling down sense?
That's what I'm thinking.
More,
yeah.
Psychedelic term.
Yeah, I think it's more the falling, like
okay.
slip, trip, stumbled, and fall.
Don't be tripping, Joe. Yeah.
But here's what they mean by that.
Right.
President Biden and his campaign are working on a critical project for his re-election bid. Make sure he doesn't trip. Driving the news.
That was your job.
This is literal. Okay.
As voters express deep concern about the 80-year-old president's age and fitness for office, Biden's team is taking extra steps to prevent him from stumbling in public. I mean, in private in the residence. You can fall over all you want, Mr. President.
What are they doing? Make sure there's no stairs involved anymore?
As he did in June when he tripped over a sandbag at the Air Force Academy. Or can we, hey, Axios, maybe you could give us context of how many times he's tripped in public. The stairs a few times on Air Force One.
Yeah. A couple times on stage.
On stage?
Yeah. And the whole Roomba thing. Don't forget about that, where he turns into a Roomba and he just walks around bouncing.
Shane Gillis nailed that,
He
man.
did.
He really did. But so here's some of what they got. like they're putting together a team and some protocols here to make sure Pop doesn't fall over. Which, hey, I have a heart. I might even have experience with family. Like, it's just a reality of life. You get older, you're not as sure-footed.
Sure. But are they president of the United States?
Right. So, Biden number one.
Oh, man.
Joe, Mr. President, you all right, Mr. President? Mr. President.
I got hairy legs.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for paying attention. He's been working with a physical therapist. He's been doing exercises to improve his balance as far back as November 2021.
Well, then he might want a new therapist.
Because it's not
It ain't
working.
getting no better, I gotta be honest.
It's not working at all. Since his stumble in June, he has been wearing tennis shoes more often to avoid slipping and using the short stairs on Air Force One.
Yeah, they had to move the whole staircase up. I bet he's got on New Balance, too. Old white guys love New Balance.
The shorts. I didn't know they even had
Yeah,
short
you didn't
stairs.
realize they had to move it. He goes through a whole different door now.
Yeah, he's on a lower deck than the one he was using most presidents use.
It's called the pop door.
That's too much.
Democrats, including some in the administration, are terrified that Biden will have a bad fall, with a nightmare scenario of it happening in the weeks before the November 2024 election. Well, we all remember, right before 2016's election, remember Hillary Clinton passed out and she had to be shuffled off, literally shuffled off into a van?
Do you remember this? When she was getting ready to give a speech and she went to grab a glass of water, and it wasn't to sip.
To spit. Yeah, I remember I'm dealing with a cold.
It was the nastiest, grossest thing I've ever seen a
It
woman
was the
do.
most authentic thing she did on the campaign trail, actually.
The real Hillary.
Yeah, the real Hillary. Please stand up.
Actually, Hillary Clinton, like, people say she's not likable, she's inauthentic, all this stuff. I think, number one, she's just not good at public speaking.
Right.
I actually think her most authentic moments are the ones that, when she's trying to impart political advice, and she does let the mask drop a little bit. Like, she'll let things out, and she'll say stuff like, what was it? You campaign in poetry, and you govern in prose.
I think that's after she has her 2 gallons of Gallo wine.
But then you
She
go,
actually wisens
wait, Hill Dog. Rodham, as I used to
Dog.
call her.
Hill Dog.
Rodham, what do you mean by campaign in poetry? You mean boil things down and kind of lie to people?
Yeah.
Because that's, that's kind of what poetry is. Now, I'm not as bad as Coach Tuberville. Why are they reading poems on the aircraft carrier? Like, Coach, it depends on the poem, Coach. All right? It depends on some poems are good for the soul and the heart and the mind. Some are like, okay, go away. You have family problems. But, yeah, poetry often is to kind of give this feeling of truth around something that's just not.
Right.
So that, I think, describes political campaigning quite well. So essentially, you have to lie to people on the campaign trail, and then you go write the big book.
When does the
as you
truth
govern.
come out? Once you become the president or whatever you're going to be elected for, you lie during the campaign, but the truth comes out once you get the job?
Right. Well, and then the next, well, actually, it's best if it just never comes out.
Oh.
But another one I remember is, like, it was a big Bernie supporter saying, I don't know. And she's like, you just have to learn, to wait your turn, to support. And, like, change happens marginally and slowly.
Occasionally she does tell the truth.
Okay, right. And again, if the folks in charge have realized, hey, we don't have to solve the problems for the American people. Actually, all we have to do is go, look at all these problems, American people. Let us solve it. But they don't solve it. They just manage it because managing it makes them rich. Solving it would actually, make other people better off.
Kind of like the pharmaceutical industry, Joey. They're only going to treat your symptoms. They're not
And when
going to give you
business
the cure.
is poor,
brother.
just create new problems.
So here, I love this next line from Axios. Getting back to the story. Often without context, Republicans have used video clips of Biden looking confused about where to go after speeches to raise further questions about his age. Often without context? The hell are you talking about? Who wrote this thing for Axios? Hey, Alex Thompson, what the hell are you talking about? Out of context, everybody has eyes. Not everybody, but most people can see it.
Did you see the Brazil leader the other day?
Oh, yeah. He was pissed off. He was just like, oh, I guess the SOB ain't going to shake my hand. I've traveled all this way just to shake the hand of the President of the United States. It's the whole reason for the damn trip. And
I think he's got a cold, dead, limp hand. I bet he does. But he's not a good handshake.
But I love that. Often without context, Republicans have shared these video clips of him looking like a Roomba.
He's a Roomba.
So let's get into more detail. Biden's balance difficulties are likely the result of what his physician has diagnosed as a combination of significant spinal arthritis and mild post-fracture foot arthritis. Biden works out many mornings with physical therapist Drew Contreras.
Might want to start looking for another one. This one ain't working out too well.
Hey, Jill, I'm going to go. Contreras is going to stretch my hand a little bit.
Right.
Biden's doctors have recommended exercises for balance, which he called proprioceptive maintenance maneuvers.
What's he got to do, squats?
What the maneuvers entail is, look at the next bullet point. What the maneuvers entail is unclear.
True.
This is amazing.
Check.
I have never heard the term proprioceptive maintenance maneuvers. It is not a clinical term in standard use, said Professor James Gordon.
No, we're back to making up words again.
As for more detail, White House spokesperson Andrew Bates told Axios, this isn't new. It was proactively and transparently disclosed in the 2021 report from the president's doctor and again this year. This article fits an unfortunate pattern of media attempting to sensationalize something that has long been public, rather than covering the president's very real achievements for hardworking
Yeah.
Oh, go climb the
Yeah.
short stairs again, Joe.
Come on.
Yeah.
See, but
Where's that list at, by the way?
Three-fourths of the American people see Biden as too old for office. See, I think that's even the wrong question. Age is just a number.
Satchel Paige.
He's too aged. Not too old. He's too aged. You can be aged at whatever age. He's adult-minded. We need to start bringing back the word crippled.
It's elder abuse.
It's absolutely insane watching that guy sit there and slur on the national stage. One thing for a person to trip over their words, but to constantly literally trip in public and always be slurring those words, except when they give him the right amount of uppers. Do you think the cocaine was actually his? There's some days where he does have a little extra pep in his step.
I think they put something in his Metamucil in the morning.
But they brought up, the Republicans remember Bob Dole?
Oh, come on.
Like when he accidentally fell off stage at a rally weeks before an election? They're worried
Now, how
about
many years
that.
was Dole president? I can't remember.
He was never president.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right.
Right.
So Biden 2024, less sniffing, less stumbling, vote for me.
Victory.
That's it.
Right, yeah.
That's a plan. It's not exactly hope and change, but
No, it's not by
it'll
any
get there.
means. I just love that. The short stairs. Out of context, Republicans have been showing videos of Biden looking confused. Oh, out of context. Okay.
I don't understand the out of context. In fact, I don't think it's just the Republicans. If you watch just about any speech that Biden gives, wait till the end. It's going to happen.
Right. He just doesn't, where am I going?
Where am I going? Where am I going? Right. It's going to happen.
What a country.
This part of the program, before we go to the phones, brought to you by Ashley and the team there at Pest Pro
Great
Services.
folks over there, Joey.
Did you know that a mosquito, because they're gonna start coming back when it cools down, right?
Yeah,
They're already
They're
back. I got
they're
news
already
for you,
back.
man. Yeah.
Okay.
Have I got
See,
a
I
bite
thought
to
there
show
was a
you?
little bit of a reprieve during the summer, but
That's
not.
just for you because you don't go outside.
Well, and I'm not right by the lake, too. But in your case, anyway, it's gonna get worse as it gets cooler, and then we'll see how you deal with it, because I get a feeling, especially if you like to entertain, like hang out by the pool, or maybe you got a beautiful like pergola with ivy growing, and you got a TV set up outside,
watching football.
Maybe you like sitting on the front porch discussing the world.
Yeah.
Solving all those problems with the family. But are you tired when you're trying to do those outside activities? Tired of spraying yourself, spraying grandma with off?
Yeah.
That can't be good for grandma. Maybe that's Biden's problem. They sprayed him with off too many times.
Could be it.
Those little candles that barely effective.
Don't do anything.
Instead, have Pest Pro Services come out and treat that yard to get rid of those mosquitoes.
Definitely.
Because they can grow into a big problem if you don't get a hold of them and you like enjoying your outside time. And of course, at Pest Pro Services, they can do so much more, from termite treatment to termite prevention to just everyday pest control needs, why don't you just ask them to get on a quarterly schedule with Pest Pro?
Best thing to do, Joe.
So check them out today. That's Pest Pro Services. You can always call them, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or you can go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell them that, well, Joey and Eddie and Sky from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Let's go to East of the Rockies. Hey, East.
What up, East?
Hey, how y'all doing? Look,
right.
and remember, Joey, only the female mosquito draws blood.
I did not know that.
Wait,
What's
say
the
that
male?
again? Only the males do that?
Only the female mosquito draws blood. The male,
What's he
like
draw?
nectar, like a moth or a butterfly, but the female draws blood specifically to fuel her ability to reproduce.
Well,
yeah,
I find that incredibly interesting, and I wonder if that goes from mosquitoes to.
Hey, shut up!
I'm just curious.
You shut up, Eddie.
Went right there, didn't you? Yep.
Okay, here's my question. Joey, have you heard that the president is a fan of LL Cool J?
Ladies love Cool James. I love it.
He really likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to Canada.
Mom said knock you down. Yeah, all right. That's Joe Biden all day.
I heard about this from your mentor this morning, that he mispronounced his name and then called him something else, and I was just wondering if you had your hands on the audio. It would be a lot of fun to hear
Okay, hold on. You hold your horses, East, since you brought this up. I'm going to type in Biden, LL Cool J.
Trivia. I wanted to name my son LL Cool J, but his mother and my mother and her mother all said no, that was a dumb idea, and sent me away.
Oh, this is worse than I thought,
Sometimes-
East. You didn't cue it up this
Sometimes
way.
things work out. Yeah.
Oh, this is worse than I thought, folks. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
no. No,
Okay.
you did.
I'm going to share this on the live stream, folks, so y'all can see it.
See.
It's a scoop.
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
that's a scoop. Jimmy Olsen at the Daily Planet.
Yeah, talk about a scoop, all right. Here we go. I'm going to play this here for the stream and the radio audience. Let's listen in together, folks. I've not heard this yet.
Interesting.
TMZ.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J.
That's out of context, Joey.
I got to back it up out of context.
In the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs.
Keep digging, man.
What are you doing? He said it. He said it.
No, Pop. Pop, it's not the 50s anymore.
That's right.
That ain't
He
Sammy
just got
Davis
knocked
Jr.
out.
you're talking about, pal.
Man.
Come on.
That's the same guy who said you ain't
Let's
black
hear it
unless you
again.
vote for Biden. Yeah.
So I get when somebody calls up here all like angry like and says, "Now listen here, boy," I get nervous, and I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's almost
Thank
sundown,
you for playing
son.
that. I wanted to hear it, and you were the man.
Hey, thank you, East.
Thank you,
Wow.
East.
Thanks
That
for the
was
scoop.
amazing.
Wow.
I got to hear this again.
Please.
This is I don't even know where this was, folks. Like
African American voters. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Where was this? Black Caucus Foundation.
The Congressional Black
Legislative
Caucus
Conference.
Foundation Legislative Conference,
Yeah,
yeah.
look who's in that second picture.
Wow.
Ladies love Cool James.
Oh, LL Cool J's awesome, man. But,
Don't
I mean,
you-
a little before my time.
Oh, Joe. you
Like, I
got
know
some
of
good
him,
stuff.
but I wasn't old enough to really when he was big.
Don't eat Oreos, eat Cool J cookies. I'm bad.
Did you have the hat?
No, I never did bust out the Kango.
Oh,
I was
man.
way too white for that.
I got to hear this again.
And in the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's... And MC Light, both of you, thank you. Because they both have the light off on the mic, you know you're all here to listen to the new edition. Mike Bivens, 40 years producing music.
I thought he was about to go into his new, the president has dropped a new fire track. I just surprise all of us and be like, it's not Joe Biden. The name's Dark Brandon. It's not Joe Biden. The name's Dark Brandon. And you just throw that on loop and then let the flow will go.
Wow.
Wow.
He struck again. No one is
Wow.
safe.
No, that second part.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you, and he caught himself. I'm like, what are you doing? And I think you can hear the crowd there going, what the heck was
The
that,
suck
man?
of air that went in. When he said boy.
Wow.
You can't. Come on, Joe.
Yeah. Let's go to Jim.
Read the room, baby.
Hey, Jim.
I thought he was doing a Jell-O commercial. I thought he was going to say J-E-L-L-O or what. I don't know what that was.
That's pretty good.
Did you? I don't know if you've talked about. Did you see the clip where he joined the strikers today this morning?
Yeah.
It was like he didn't even do anything. He was just there about 10 minutes, and he just stood there and mumbled a few words on a megaphone at the end. And he kind of reminds me, if you watch the old Carol Burnett, of Tim Conway, the old man he did with a shuffle, and he mumbles and he shuffles along.
Mr. Tudball.
That's just what he looks like. That was just a prop moment there for votes. That's all that was. They probably pulled up in the car and said, "Here, Joe, walk over there by those people over there in the red jackets. Go stand over there by them, and we'll come and get you in a few minutes."
Well,
and then they got him.
What's so sad is the one person that's standing in that line that could actually meet with anybody in the world he wanted to is Joe Biden. And he's such a moron. He goes and stands in line with union guys instead of actually trying to bring people to the table.
Yeah.
He's just an old fool.
He just stood there. He wasn't gonna do anything. He wasn't gonna clap. He wasn't gonna do anything because he didn't want anybody to think he was really, as his spokesperson said, he's not going to get involved in that part. He just wanted to be seen there.
Right, and I guarantee you, the folks that were surrounding him in the union-looking coats probably don't work for auto workers.
Actually, I think they're the Secret Service. The Secret Service scuttled a plan. Was actually a bunch of these union workers. They're going to be like, Joe, come here. We know you're tired of being president. The whole country doesn't like you. Your whole party's about to stab you multiple times in the back like you're Caesar.
Yes.
So here, we're going to take you. We've got this old retirement place. It's not like assisted living. It's not even like, don't look at an apartment or a hotel. It's like a big farm where you can just go roam the pastures and frolic in the fields.
Is that Jimmy Hoffa Acres?
and then Joe's like, you know what? I was tired. And so let me go. And they put him in the back of a car, cushy, and they shut it, drives off, and it says Glue Factory on it.
Not a bad idea.
I think that's where it's going. The man looks like he's melted Elmer's glue.
Right.
Yeah. He should have. I'd like to see him talk to that black woman striker that was complaining about the economy.
He ain't going to talk to
Why didn't they have them? Why didn't he have a little conversation with her? She probably would have hit him over the head with her sign.
Probably.
But it was just a little prop thing that made people think he was with the union.
Well, if they
and
believe
he just
that,
stood
they
there
are
like
fools.
a wooden Indian and did nothing. I mean, it's just sad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's to the point now where he just needs to go off to a retirement home, like you said. They can give him a big bowl of ice cream and a bib, and he can just.
Well, they can still tell him he's the president. He's not going to know the difference. Just tell him. But hey, Jim, at least he's not sending mean tweets out.
Right.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah. Oh God.
I wonder if he eats his ice cream, he does the whole tasting thing.
He sniffs it for you.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Joey, I was, I listened to your show yesterday. About Jack.
Yeah.
And when did he pass?
I'm not certain of all the details. I think it was Saturday, and he was found Sunday.
Had he just been sick, or?
I mean he had
all kind of health issues.
Yeah, it's been a lot of long term. There was nothing immediately acute that came to my mind. Just his long term stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen. It's weird. I mean, I know he was well known in this area, but I haven't seen nothing on the internet except your write-up in 1819.
Yeah, no, I had a few
nothing
folks.
about it.
I know Jim Ziegler. I know John Merrill put out a very gracious post. Appreciate that, John. Yeah, there are a few that are giving their respects, and he was very well known. I'm a little surprised too, but it is what it is, Jim.
Yeah, is Jim Ziegler working for 1819?
No, he's just writing for him on occasion.
Little Sizzler.
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah, he's. I'll tell you a real quick thing with him. I met him the first time when I moved to Montgomery in 1984, and I was single at the time, and I was hanging out at the Fraser Church there because they had this huge singles department over there. I mean, thousands of singles. That's where I ran into him.
Joey?
He was single then too.
Down?
Yeah, he was over there. He was. I know why he was over there, but like I was single, and there was a bunch of nice-looking ladies, good ladies, went over there to that church. So that's the first time I ran into him. I used to see him there all the time.
Yeah, Ziegler's a character, a good man too.
Yeah, he is. All right, y'all have a good afternoon.
Appreciate it, Jim. 272-9228. Would you stop dragging my miserable, depressing love life into every conversation?
You call it dragging. I call it trying to help. Trying to help. That's what we're trying to do.
Eddie's looking out for you, man.
I am. I can't wait to go to the wedding.
Presenting the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that boy's got man's got.
Nice. That's the President of the United States of America.
Right. So if you're
right
LL
there.
Cool J, you're like, man, the president is going to talk about me. Then you hear that and go, man.
Yeah, the president.
you'd
The
never
president.
said
I'm going to
my
be
name.
honored by the Congressional Black Caucus at their annual event. Mom, you got to come with me.
LL Cool J. By the way, that boy's man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been.
Cringe-worthy.
I don't like Joe talking about anybody's biceps, but I certainly don't like him talking about his own thighs. We'll be right back. I have to throw up.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Exit Realty is growing. Exit Realty focuses on everything it takes to make a real estate office successful and provides opportunity to brokers and agents unlike any other real estate brand.
Training, technology, an opportunity to earn an exceptional income, and even retire and leave a legacy and benefits for your family. Interested in a great real estate career? Text BAMA to 85377 to learn more. That's BAMA to 85377.
Who's there? It's Bill, the electrician, here to make your home burglar-proof. Oh, thank goodness. I thought maybe you were an intruder. No, ma'am. I'm a burglar's worst nightmare.
If your house doesn't have sufficient outdoor lighting, it's a prime target for intruders. That's why you should call Crosby Electric today.
How's it going, Bill? Just fine, ma'am. See, when your intruder trips this wire, it grabs him by the foot and hangs him upside down. Really?
The experts at Crosby Electric will install lighting that not only discourages intruders, but also makes it safer for you and your guests to navigate around steps, pools, and other tripping hazards.
Bill, is that contraption safe? Oh, sure. It's disarmed now, but... Bill! Like I said, I'm a burglar's worst nightmare. I see. You mind cutting me down, ma'am?
Avoid your worst nightmare. Call the outdoor lighting experts at Crosby Electric or visit crosbyelectric.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Wiley Sanders Truck Lines, where dump truck drivers are in demand. Wiley Sanders is on the grow. We need dump truck drivers now. Call 855-77-9785.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We've got a series of disturbances drifting through that'll keep the mention of showers in the forecast for at least the next 2 or 3 days. It's going to be another warm one with a high in the upper 80s to around 90. Scattered random hit-or-miss storms for some lucky towns, especially this afternoon and this evening. Low tonight, 69. The storms will be in more generous supply, I think, tomorrow. Better odds on getting wet with a high around 86. And then maybe a few spotty leftover showers on Thursday, perhaps. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors & More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors & More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Wow. Welcome back, folks. We were just showing our program director for the hip hop station, 97.9, right across the hallway from us. This Biden clip, he hadn't caught it yet. And yeah, we're all just sitting there,
He's kind of speechless,
laughing and wide-eyed, kind of like, what is wrong with Pop?
Yeah.
He's the president and he's doing crap like that.
I think it's time to put him back on the, like they did when he was running for president. Just keep him in the basement. Let's do satellite feeds. Yeah, I think that was a little better.
That's what they're going for, I think.
Yeah.
But that's when he said the whole "you ain't black" thing with Charlemagne.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go to James. Hey, James.
Actually, James Rove Christie. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
Hey, James. Yeah, I can hear you.
It's good to hear from you, Joey. I
Good to hear
hadn't
from
talked to you in a long time,
Yes,
buddy.
sir.
I don't live in this area anymore. I live down in Mobile and have for a while, but I'm up in town visiting daughters, and I saw your post and about Jack Campbell, and just wanted to say that was a good guy, man. I met him several occasions at several different events and everything, and the first time I met him, him and I got into like a little pissing contest about who had the funniest stories and stuff, about growing up, and he had he was something else, man. I mean, he's a very intelligent guy. The guy had his head on his shoulders, and he never forgot your name.
Oh, he didn't forget much
I saw
of
that in your
anything.
post. That is the truth. He always remembered who you were if you ran into him anywhere. And I talked to him one night for a good 30 minutes on the balcony at the Capital City Club, and and you couldn't meet a better guy. I mean, he was all that in one, dude. I mean, he was that guy that had the intelligence, he had everything together. And he was also that guy you did not want to hang out with when you were young, because he told me some stories. and he would get you in trouble.
Oh yeah, sure, that's true.
But man, that's that hits home right there. I just wanted to call in. I had not called in. I usually used to call in as Bills of Bubba.
I remember.
One of my characters from my comedy thing is called Captain Kick-Ass and the Carpet Farmers, but it's on YouTube. It's making fun of the city of Montgomery and the mayor and everybody else. I love doing that. But anyway, Jack was a great guy. That's the whole reason I called in. I just wanted to.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
I'm gonna miss hearing him, and and I know that he's gone and everything. Does anybody hear from old Dan anymore?
Yeah, Dan was texting with me when all this broke about Jack. I think, as far as I know, Dan's doing all right. He's still got his own fights there, but he's in the right state of mind, I believe.
Yeah, Dan's a great guy too, man. I had the opportunity sitting on that show when I was Sergeant of Arms for the Montgomery Area Musicians Association, a few years back, and he really helped us out. And Jack gave me a lot of encouragement, as far as back when we were starting that. Now I have not heard how Mama's doing, the Montgomery Area Musicians Association, but I've heard rumors. But I'm hoping that
honestly, I haven't been in touch with them in a while. So.
Yeah, well, I haven't either. Like I said, I've been out of town, but I just wanted to call in and say hey to you, man, because, dude, you're friends on Facebook. You always been really cool to me. And, Jack, the first time I ever met Jack was out in the parking lot of Blue Water, actually. And the second time, I believe, was at the Capital City Club, Montgomery, and on top of the RSA Tower. And, man, what a great guy. What a great guy. And what a loss for Montgomery, for real.
It really is. Well, it's great hearing from you, James, and thank you for that, saying all that about Jack. I really appreciate it, man.
Well, you guys have a great day, and tell Greg Budell I said hello. I miss him. Tell Dan if you see him, tell him Rip said hey.
Well, absolutely. Appreciate you, sir.
Hi.
272-9228. Yeah, it brings back all sorts of memories of Jack. So many moments. Heck, when I think of Jack or Greg or Dan, and you and I now, Eddie, we're making the similar memories where, how somebody will ask you, what'd y'all talk about on the show today? Like, right when you get off, you're like, it's 3 and 4 in the afternoon. You're like, I have no clue.
I have no idea.
But what will be interesting is a lot of stuff will all of a sudden come back to you, like just great moments. There are days, folks, where this very much feels like a job. But then there are days where I'm like, I've got the best job in the world. So I appreciate all y'all for still allowing me to do that. 272-9228.
You're still on probation, though, by the way. I don't think you've ever been officially taken off probation.
This part of the program brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And they're the Goodson Group. Bo and his team have a unique understanding of the River Region real estate market. Well, because Bo's been helping buyers and sellers here in the Montgomery and surrounding areas for over 40 years, 4+ decades working in this market, folks. And so at the Goodson Group, not only can they help you with buying and selling your property, they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. This area is actually a great spot. This whole Montgomery surrounding area is the River Region. Great spot for rental investments. But it can be a pain in the butt to do that yourself, like manage a rental yourself. Why not, for a reasonable fee, have the Goodson Group do it for you? And then the crown jewel there at the Goodson Group, really where Bo's experience comes into play, that 40+ years, is the Bo Goodson Real Estate School. One of the most highly acclaimed programs because it's a very interactive course. Bo's not going to let you just sit there in the back of the class. He's going to get you to be involved and interact with everybody else. And also, well, he's going to teach you from that 40+ years of experience, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He's seen it all, and Bo can teach you those lessons without you having to live it yourself. And really the proof is folks who have gone on after taking the Bo Goodson Real Estate School as licensed realtors or as more knowledgeable private players. A lot of people have found success after learning from Bo. So check him out today. You can always give him a call at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Or go to thegoodsongroup.com and be sure to tell Bo and the team there at the Goodson Group that Joey from News and Views in the afternoon sent you. 272-9228. I think we got time for this. Let's go to Lee. Hey, Lee.
Hey there. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
You know what? I wish it was Friday, but it's not.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to stay positive and keep on going. I wanted to ask if you've heard about this Clarence Thomas is the lead justice on a freedom of speech case, and it's been on Twitter today, but I haven't had time to look into it any further. But the story is that he is about to lower the hammer on one of these agencies over censorship and freedom of speech. Have you heard anything about that?
I have not. I'm looking now, but I have not. That didn't show up for me. You're seeing it on Twitter today, you said?
I did see it on Twitter, and I would go back and look, but I can't do that while I'm on the phone with you. So. Okay,
yeah. If you do find it, tell Eddie, and we'll pull it up. I'll keep looking here through Twitter, try to find it here. But I just didn't see it this morning. Okay, well,
the decision is supposed to come down within the next couple of days.
Okay.
Of course, it'll probably be Friday,
right
after 5 o'clock. But
yep.
At any rate, okay. Well, thanks for talking to me. I'll look and see if I can find more, and you have a good rest of your day. Okay.
Thank you, Lee. 272-9228. Yeah, we don't really have much time here left in the segment. We got to hit the top of the hour break, but why not, folks? Play this again. This is just downright amazing. Excuse me, pardon me.
Representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs.
The President of the United States, folks. Final hour of News and Views coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Jason Walker. President Biden joining the United Auto Workers today in Michigan on the 12th day of their strike. In the meantime, a spokesman for former President Donald Trump says the Biden visit to the striking auto workers is, quote, pure politics. Elsewhere, the pickets have been suspended, and Hollywood's writers on the verge of getting back to work 5 months after they walked off the job. A planned vote today from the union's governing boards on a tentative deal. After that, a vote from the writers themselves, who have yet to learn what gains they may have won. The first of thousands of residents who lost their homes in the Maui wildfire have returned to their devastated properties. Some stop for a moment of reflection, others search for mementos. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather.
We've got a series of disturbances drifting through that'll keep the mention of showers in the forecast for at least the next 2 or 3 days. It's going to be another warm one with a high in the upper 80s to around 90. Scattered random hit-or-miss storms for some lucky towns, especially this afternoon and this evening. Low tonight, 69. The storms will be in more generous supply, I think, tomorrow. Better odds on getting wet with a high around 86. And then maybe a few spotty leftover showers on Thursday, perhaps. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you once again for voting ASE the best credit union and best mortgage company in Central Alabama's Reader's Choice Awards. We're honored to serve our members for 69 years and counting.
ASE Credit Union, your life, your goals, your ASE.
1819 News.
Construction is about to begin again in Baldwin County when it comes to a controversial bridge in Gulf Shores. The legal dispute objecting to the state construction project started up earlier this year with a lawsuit from the Baldwin County Bridge Company. As a result, an emergency injunction was issued in May to stop the construction. Then the Alabama Supreme Court has ruled in favor of the state and against the bridge company, and a recent request by that bridge company for a rehearing was denied, so construction could resume any day now. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that it is estimated that 37 million children around the world call an orphanage home? The reasons are numerous, but the responsibility to care for vulnerable children is certain. God calls His people to care for vulnerable children in His name, and that's where our friends at Lifeline Children's Services come in. For more than 40 years, Lifeline has been helping Christians meet the needs of these precious children through adoption, foster care, global orphan care, and a host of other ways. If your family or church would like to know more about how you can answer God's call to care for vulnerable children in Jesus' name, head over to lifelinechild.org.
A wide receiver with the Alabama State University football team is now suspended indefinitely after punching a security guard this past Saturday at Florida A&M. Jacob Freeman, who wears jersey number 16, was caught on video approaching the security guard after the game, getting into a verbal dispute and then hitting the man. That video was posted to social media. Freeman transferred to Alabama State to be part of the 2023 season after spending the past 2 years at Georgia State University. A bicyclist who was struck by a truck in Prattville on September 10th has succumbed to his injuries. The victim has spent the last 15 days at UAB Hospital in Birmingham. The incident happened on Old Selma Highway. Both the victim and the driver of the truck are from Prattville. The annual Hound Dog Music Festival is coming to Silver Hill again on October 7th. The event will feature musical acts like Rollin' in the Hay, White Lang, and the West Loper Band. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole. Do you have a cell phone or tablet that isn't charging, dying fast, or maybe the screen is damaged? Don't get suckered into buying a new one. XI Repair can fix your current device same day and in under 30 minutes. Their certified technicians fix and recover data from thousands of cell phones, computers, tablets, game consoles, and drones 7 days a week. Give them a call today at 334-777-1234 or visit them online at xirepair.com.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program. Now, it's not just Joe Biden who said a heck of a thing about LLJ.
J boy?
Cool J.
Don't eat Oreos, eat Cool J cookies.
Actually, let's bring on the caller now. Duke, cool. Duke, how are you?
Where the white women at? Boy.
Oh.
So Duke, how is how are people taking Biden now in your community there?
Well, I sat back and thought about this thing, and
Okay.
I said, "Hey, here we are. We put two old white guys in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't have no street creds for it. You know, dealing with the young folks, and you know, Trump may be a little bit ahead of Biden on that part. You know, Trump did that with all kind of folks. You know, until he start flirting around with these Republicans and all that. He could have pulled off saying, "Boy, you know," because Trump would have said it in a smooth way. You know, if I can get Joe to do it for me one time, say it one time for me, Joe.
Well, you know, when you look at this boy, I mean, and actually, I'm not saying he's a man.
Don't cut yourself off, Mr. Trump. Just say it.
Just say it.
I mean, he's got. Look, I can say it. Maya Angelou's a friend.
But let me get back on track here now. Okay. Biden said, he slipped up and said, boy, but daggone, that stuff right there, boy, I tell you, so Snoop not to do that to me like that. But anyhow, Trump used the phrase, "be blacks."
Mm-hmm.
I took offense to that because that's a word, that's a substitute for those people.
Okay.
Be blacks. The way he said, well, every time you look around, D blacks this, D blacks that. You know, he emphasized the word "the," you know, and it sounds like talking about those people. So, but Biden said it in a way where he should have just left it alone. He should have just said, you know, LL Cool J, he got, you know, that boy got some muscles on him. Left it alone.
But he's just not that smooth.
Hey, real quick, Duke, for folks who haven't heard this, I'm going to play it again real quick. Let's listen in.
Most of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that boy's man's got biceps bigger than my thighs. I think he's been an MC.
Wow.
But he should have left it alone. Don't say no damn man. Just left it alone. People would have respected it more and not caught it. Okay?
Yeah, but I think
you make yourself seem like you said something wrong, okay? When you pause like that, you make it seem like you're in the wrong. Don't put the people on you like that. You're inviting trouble when you pause like that.
Right. Actually, I got another video for you this time from Trump. You want to hear it? Because he said something crazy, too, recently.
All right, let me hear what this fella got.
All right, this is from a rally, I believe, yesterday.
Our country. This is supposedly in the name of preventing whale strikes. But you have a better chance of being struck by lightning than hitting a whale with your boat. There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years. But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up on shore. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis. The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty, and they're washing up on shore.
The windmills are driving the whales
crazy, making the whales a little batty.
Maybe it's one of these things where we just don't know the latest science, and Donnie from Queens does.
That boy right there, I tell you something. I call Trump boy all the time. That boy right there, I tell you, I don't know what I'm going to do with him.
And he don't even get offended.
I don't know what I'm going to do with this boy right here now. This fella right here, out there picking on the whales now. He getting whales involved in politics. Hey. Between him and that Kelly, what's that cat name in Florida there? What's that governor name? Florida?
Ron DeSantis.
Ronnie D.
Yeah, between those two right there, man, I don't know, boy. What we going to do? When I'm down there picking on people in Florida, picking on Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck and all of them, and here Trump picking on the whales. What's next? Then Biden picking on folks talking about, boy and mean, and he don't know what the hell to call him,
Yeah, I have no clue.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a good general rule of thumb to your earlier point. If you put the in front of it, get ready to feel an emphasis on the next word. So I could say, my name's Joey, or I'm the Joey.
The way he say it, though,
Right.
the way he says it, though, can't nobody say it like him. He got a little way, nasty way to say it, though.
So if you want to get in good with the whites, you're not like.
Yeah, see what I'm talking about?
Right.
Yeah,
it kind of, yeah, I'm not there completely with it.
Oh, boy. Oh, man. What we going to do, y'all? Hey, where you at, Sky? Sky, you in the background, buddy.
He had to run.
He had to run out.
Huh? He going already?
Yeah, he had to run out.
This one is my personal favorite.
Okay.
Well.
So anyhow, y'all ain't no good, boy.
We know it. We know it. That's why you call us, man.
Well, appreciate it, Duke.
But anyway, we need to find us some younger people to put in that can, can talk their lingo with the cats. Like Dion, for example. He can mingle with those guys. Keep the rappers out of the locker room every once in a while a little bit. But
let's let him win 3 games in a row, then, or maybe 4 in a row, and then we'll talk about his practice.
Yeah. Well, I'm just talking about off the field. How he handles things off the field with his.
I'm a big fan of Dion. I like the way he gets things done. I like the way, just like the other day, he took that beating and he said, "Y'all get him in now."
He's a baby Trump, though. Ain't he? A baby Trump, though.
A little bit now.
Trump, though, ain't he?
He a little bit. He's a little bit Trump-esque. Yeah, I'll give him that.
Oh man, just like him.
Well, I appreciate the call, Duke.
All right, y'all.
272-9228. And very quickly here, folks, it looks like CNN has used some of their valuable time to fact check the windmills driving the whales crazy claim by Trump. Let's listen in together, Eddie.
Favorite. Let me just play this for our audience.
There has only been, listen to this, one such whale killed off the coast of South Carolina in the last 50 years. But on the other hand, their windmills are causing whales to die in numbers never seen before. Nobody does anything about that. They're washing up and show. I saw it this weekend. 3 of them came up. You wouldn't see it once a year. Now they're coming up on a weekly basis.
Mm-hmm.
The windmills are driving them crazy. They're driving the whales, I think, a little batty.
I mean, I don't want to laugh because it's kind of, dare I say, crazy. But the windmill story is almost like his
Laugh, lady, laugh. I forget what her name is. You're beautiful. You're talented. Laugh. It's funny.
Story that he brings it up all the time. He hates windmills.
This man hates windmills, hates wind turbines. So I looked into this. I'm not an expert on whales or what makes them crazy or not crazy, but I can read and I can tell you there is no evidence that offshore wind installations are killing whales or driving them batty, as the former president says. Now, there are some mysterious deaths. We know some are caused by things like them getting entangled in fishing gear, by striking vessels. Some of them remain mysterious, but the former president's insistence, his confidence that the whales are being killed or being driven nuts or whatever by wind turbines is apparently based on nothing. And I'll remind people that although some of this remains mysterious, we'll get answers later, this is the same man who insisted that wind turbines were causing cancer. So not an authority on this subject.
Thank you for that serious reporting, CNN. And I'm not talking about the host here. I'm talking about that, I guess he's a guy.
Shut up, silly woman.
Let's go to Blair. Hey, Blair.
Hey, Blair.
Hey, about the whales, real quick. I just got off work and I turned it on you, of course.
Thank you.
Trump is not the first one to come up with that. There have been people that live on the East Coast that have said that possibly, maybe, that noise that the winds, the blades are making are having a negative effect on the whales, and they're beaching themselves and dying. They're not coming up there with cuts and webs and nets wrapped all around them. So, touche to that. And the other thing I want to say is I remember very well, knowledge is power. I remember very well, I was watching the election time when people were campaigning, when Obama ran the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was somewhere at some place where he had all these people and he was campaigning. And he said, quote, you know they're going to say he's black, unquote. He was the first man during that election to point out he was black. Now, I don't see him as black. I see him as an American, maybe biracial. But they play that up because they think that's an advantage. If they really want people to get along, they need to quit looking at the color of skin. I'm tired of it. I don't. And I was prejudged one time because these young black men found out I was from Alabama, and they were very rude to me. They didn't ask me anything about what I thought, how I thought, what I did, or anything. They said, oh, from Alabama, they got up and walked out. I've been there, so I don't have patience with it. You know, and that's my 2 cents worth today. It aggravates me.
Yeah,
people like to misrepresent.
Worth more than that. I appreciate it, Blair.
Thank you, Blair.
All right. Thank you so much for letting me steam off.
All right. Thanks, hon.
272-9228. Again, 272-9228. I just saw a comment here from the Romex Angler, Eddie.
Yeah.
He says, do y'all think tomorrow's show will be better than today? I'd like to tune in and watch, but my time is valuable. Why you got to be lying? Romex Angler.
His time is not
yeah, like he's got something better to do. We know you're addicted. And actually, I think we just have different taste. I've enjoyed this show today.
It's been all right.
Yeah, it's been okay.
Been all right.
I like silly things happening.
Thank you.
What, are we going to be serious again?
I'd rather take a break from that for a little while if we could.
This part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. James and the team are ready to help you with all sorts of needs. Of course, emergency needs like a burst pipe.
Right.
They understand time is of the essence. They'll get there.
Especially when you got a burst pipe.
And with that, what is it? Proprietary? It's a pipeline
technology they have.
Yeah.
Where let's say, Joey, behind the wall, I've got a water coming out from behind the wall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm a homeowner. I'm just freaking out because there's water coming out behind my wall.
All right.
So I call James. First thing they're probably going to tell me is cut the water off if I can. So let's say I'm skilled enough, I know where to cut the water off, and I do. But I still got water behind that wall. So they come over, they say, oh, you got a busted pipe. And it's way back behind that wall. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, no, man, they're going to tear my house up just to get to this pipe. No, they've got some technology and a great product that will reline that pipe.
There you go. And without tearing out a bunch of drywall, digging up a huge hole in your yard. Yeah, they're not going to make a mess.
It's like a surgery, in fact. I mean, the way they can come in and precisely do it.
And, of course, they can also help you with more common problems like low water pressure, clogged drains, maybe even have tree root invasion or a gas line leak. Seriously, they do it all. Man. Maybe you want to upgrade to a tankless water heater system or install a new device there.
Good time to do that.
Run a new water line. They can do all that there at Cole Plumbing. So check them out today. You can always go to coleplumbing.com, book an appointment online at coleplumbing.com, or give them a call at 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
Why did you do that in a falsetto?
No, I really don't.
Call on Cole, Joey.
You just have a flashback to the 80s or something?
If we could just move on.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Did you know the current national average turn time to close on a mortgage is 48 business days? But not at Alabama Home Mortgage. At Alabama Home Mortgage, our average close time is 16 business days. That's a month faster than the rest. How do we do it? With over 60 years of combined experience in the industry. Our team knows mortgages. Our years of experience yield a better experience for our customers. Folks, time is money. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, Don't waste time with another mortgage company, bank, or credit union. We close on time every time. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our fast turn time is just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Next contestant.
Honey, you look confused. What's wrong?
I'm having a hard time remembering to take my medications like I'm supposed to. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to worry you.
I'm glad you told me, because I heard that Adams Drugs has a medicine on time service that will package your monthly medications and make them easier to manage. Our neighbors, Bill and Leslie, mentioned the other day that they use Adams and how they have made it so easy for them to manage their medications.
Do you think we can call Adams Drugs? Or go by there and see if they can help me? I don't want to get to the point where you have to put me into an assisted living home.
Why don't you get your medications together right now, and let's go down to Adams and talk to the pharmacist.
How much does the medicine on time service cost?
I asked Bill that same question, and he told me it's a free service for Adams customers.
Free? Wow, I'm feeling really good about this already. Let me grab my meds list.
Call Adams Drugs Medicine on Time for your pharmacist consultation. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for more information on our Medicine on Time packaging service.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Break it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks. No $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number 1 in the number 2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1 WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones at 272-9228 and talk to Doug from Titus. Hey, Doug.
Good afternoon, Joey and Eddie.
How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing great.
Joey, I just got through reading your write-up about Jack on 1819 News, and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
I'm glad you did that. I sort of felt like you probably would do something like that. The main purpose of my call, Duke, I hope you were listening. We've been back and forth and bantered and called each other racist, but Duke, I want to tell you, buddy, if you're listening, that was the classiest call you've ever made yesterday. I never thought you could call Joey's show and not talk about Trump and race. But you are one classy guy, bud. In my book, you are all right.
That's good to hear.
So anyway, that was pretty much the main purpose of my call. I did want to tell you, Joey, thank you for sharing that CNN clip. I guess it was a brief interview with Trump. That guy is something else. He really never ceases to amaze me. He can be such a very serious, successful businessman, and then sometimes you think he makes a living as a stand-up comedian.
Oh, it's freaking hilarious. No, and I love how it cut. I think it's Abby Phillips is her name, the host of that CNN show.
Yeah.
And even she's sitting there laughing, and I'm like, because it's funny.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I would never accuse a man of being bipolar because I know he's not. He is a stable genius, but it's just amazing how sometimes he can sound so presidential, and like I say, sometimes it sounds like he might be part of the SNL crew.
Yeah.
But anyway, I appreciate you sharing that kind of stuff with us, Joey. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day. I
too,
need to
Doug.
load a truck full of rocks.
All
All
right.
right, guys.
Move them rocks,
I'll
brother.
holler at y'all again tomorrow.
Appreciate it, Doug.
There are those that think I'm a very stable genius.
Let's go to Charlie. Hey, Charlie.
Hey, Joey, I got a question for you two highly intelligent dudes, okay?
All right.
Okay. I don't know if I need to leave the room.
I'm not saying it's true, but
Go
I
get
accept
Jay.
your label. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, you know. Why in the world do when we watch the news programs and they show the border down there, why is the border security cutting the razor wire, cutting gaps in it, throwing tarps over it, and allowing these people to walk over it?
The reason why is probably the orders they've gotten. Some of those orders come at the discretion of the executive branch and the executive. We know Biden's not the one doing it single-handedly, but the people around him are doing that. Or it could also, in some cases, be a court order. But
Well, you know
I just
why?
think it's unconscionable, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you know, to me, why in the world even? Why even make it an issue if they're going to do that bull crap? I mean, if the governor of Texas put it on, put the border up. The razor wire and all that good stuff, and then we got guys down there. It looks like to me they could just stand back and just be there instead of cutting the wire and just letting them pour through into the country.
Well,
It's unbelievable.
I don't know if
I'd tell them, I'd say, look, I'm not going to do it. Come on and arrest me.
Well, the governor of Texas, he tried, I don't know if you remember, maybe a month or so ago, they put some things in the water just to act as a
Buoys, yeah.
deterrent.
Yeah.
The court ruled they had to take that out.
Because swimming across the Rio Grande is dangerous. And it's like, the
Right, so we
buoys are
got
what did it?
We have literally a life raft that, I mean, how could you not? But again, they're saying the border is closed when we all know it's open. I mean, our government is openly treating us like morons. They're lying to our face, and we're just accepting it.
Well, we got guys out there in the river. I mean, what they're doing, they're in boats picking these people
Yep,
up,
pick 'em
bringing
up.
them on over here.
Yep.
All right.
It's pathetic, man. I mean, it's just. I tell you what, I can go in Lowe's, and I run a business. I go to Lowe's. I get a lot of material and stuff. I can go in Lowe's in the morning around 7 or so, and it is loaded with Mexicans. Just loaded with. And I don't mind saying it's loaded with Mexicans because it's the truth.
Oh, yeah.
And
There's a massive now Hispanic population here in Montgomery.
Yes, there is.
Mexican,
It's unreal,
Guatemalan,
man.
all sorts of types of folks.
And they're taking the American guys' jobs away from them. Is what they're doing. And people are so stupid to hire these people that I don't know. It just irritates the piss out of me. I mean, it just really does.
Yep.
All right, appreciate y'all's time, man.
Hey, no problem.
Hey,
Thank you, Charlie.
Yeah, we've had many a contractor or small business owner, especially with a lot of labor type of work, say
can't get help, man.
Those days are gone, and often like these guys, if they are here illegally, are coming with forged paperwork
Yeah, they
or
come with
something.
Social Security number.
These sorts of things.
So let's say I'm a small businessman. I need some labor. I find 3 Hispanic workers. They show me what, in my mind, I think is probably illegal, but they have the correct paperwork. What am I to do?
Here's how bad it is. The Social Security Administration will alert an employer, this is a fake one, this is a duplicate one, but they won't enforce that alert because we're so out of money that they want those workers' tax money in the coffers.
Okay, I said it a while back.
It's crazy.
When we were at Hyundai, we had a little pimp that had a fake Social Security.
Wait. His name was
we
Little
called him
Pimp?
Little Pimp. His name was, I don't know, but we call him Little Pimp.
I kind of want to get a.
Oh, he's a cool guy.
No, I got a plan. I'm gonna, before you keep going with your Little Pimp story, I want to get 3 pets. I want to get a cat. Name the cat. It'll be a Niccolo Machiavelli.
Okay.
I think it's a perfect name for a cat.
Sure.
It really is. He's always scheming there in the back.
Yep. Stirring it.
Like his paws around the corner. He's going to overthrow me anytime soon. And then I want a black Labrador, or it could be chocolate or red or whatever. I want a Labrador retriever named Steve.
Okay.
And so it'll be Niccolo Machiavelli, Steve, and I want a little Chihuahua and name him Little Pimp.
He would be a bad Chihuahua.
Anyway, back to your Little Pimp story.
He was a young guy. I think he was 14 when we met him. He had a full-time job. His mother also worked out there. They were all part of the cleaning crew. Hyundai separated them by saying, okay, we can't hire you directly. You have to go through a third party. That's how the illegal operation is made. That's how it's made throughout the U.S. Nothing special here. However, Lil Pimp come to us one day. We developed a relationship, a good relationship. He said, I can't understand. I work, and he did, man. He worked 60 hours plus a week. He said, but there's something coming out of my check. And he was a young guy. He didn't understand the math. So we looked at his pay stub, and we said, you got a garnishment. He's like, what is a garnishment? So we had to explain to him. And then we said, whoever Social Security number you have, we know it wasn't real, they owe somebody some money, and they're garnishing your check to get it. So he's like, 2 days later, he had a new Social Security number. No garnishment attached. Right.
Wow. Yeah, and you can start to point your finger like, who's to blame?
It's not hard to find out where the blame lies.
My finger doesn't go immediately to like, Lil Pimp, you shouldn't do that. I mean, he was breaking the law technically.
He was.
But again, he's not alone.
If he wouldn't have come here, though, he is one of those guys that would have got pulled into a gang and would not be alive today. There's no doubt.
But then think about all the people who tried to get here legally. No, I point the finger immediately at Washington, D.C. This has been a problem for 3 decades at least.
With no clear sight of change.
Republicans and Democrat administrations both, and Congresses both. And again, it goes back to a theme of they don't solve problems in D.C., they manage problems. Because if they just manage the problem, they can make a lot of money off of you.
The pharmaceutical industry, Joey. I mean, it's what it is.
Well, there's that too.
They are one and the same.
You actually solve problems. We don't have customers anymore. We need the voting populace always alarmed and really kind of dependent. That way we can keep them hooked.
Yep.
It's kind of a shame.
It is.
272.
It's working for them, buddy. I mean, it's working good for them.
Now, this part of the program brought to you by a great local business, Bath Innovations of Alabama.
Local folks, man.
Founded by Brad McDowell, built up by his bootstraps. Hard work, perseverance, motivation, and, well, the goal is keeping customers happy. Right. They've been doing it for almost 30 years there at Bath Innovations of Alabama. They are local people. They employ local people. They pay local taxes, attend local churches, shop local stores, and live in local neighborhoods. They are your neighbors there at Bath Innovations of Alabama. And their goal is to serve every household in the area, which is the type of ambition I like. And of course, they've got so many options there at Bath Innovations, from Safety, say, fixtures and features, aging in place solutions for folks who aren't as sure-footed.
Just incredibly a safe idea.
So you can take a shower or bath in peace and not have to worry about
slipping
and falling.
Yeah.
They've got this brand new ABS acrylic shower systems, this high-strength polymer panel material it's amazing.
And I can get that pretty much in any kind of granite or
you can
marble or whatever.
They
right?
emboss onto it an image of any sort of stone you want. So
cool.
Granite, marble, even I imagine brick, tile,
brick.
all sorts of different looks you can have done, but it's easier to clean. But we're just scratching the surface, so to speak. So go to bathinnovations.com. Start to mix and match. Hey, and it doesn't matter your budget. It could be you want to do a full remodel. Money's not the concern. You want to make that bathroom look like your dream bathroom. Or it could be, hey, I'm just tired of looking down when I wash my face or wash my hands or brush my teeth in the morning at this big discolored spot in the sink.
Big old chip
like
sink.
to update it. Or maybe I just want to spring for like a new shower head or something.
Good
They got
idea.
all of that there, Bath Innovations of Alabama. So again, go to bathinnovations.com, start to mix and match, and then stop by 2331 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Say hi to Brad and the team, and be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. 272-9228. How about we keep forgetting?
Yeah.
Because everything going on, but we have one more pair.
Oh, that's right, Joey.
Of Brian Kilmeade
We
tickets.
sure do. We got one more set.
And if I'm remembering off the top of my head, this is November the 19th.
Okay.
That he's going to be at Impact. And it's about Teddy Roosevelt and Booker T. Washington, his book that Brian Kilmeade just released. And he'll be in Montgomery again, November 19th. So what number should we go with, Eddie?
I think we should go with something simple. Like 4.
Caller number 4, 272-9228. If you want this final pair of Brian Kilmeade tickets that we have, 272-9228, caller number 4. And as we wait on them rolling in here, have we learned anything yet today, or have we been too silly?
A little bit silly, but it's a great relief with the rest
with
of the world
everything going on right
That's
now.
Right.
It really is.
It was what I wanted to do. I wanted to come in here and just be silly with you today.
Right.
I appreciate you humoring me with that, Joey.
Of course. So this is caller number 1. Oh, so sorry. Caller number 2. Caller number 3. You were so close. But
so close.
You didn't win, though. Caller number 4. You're on the air. Who's this?
Urban Knight.
Oh, hey, man. Congrats. You win. Yeah, you win.
You won, buddy.
I won?
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is put you back on hold. Eddie's going to get your info so you can come pick up these tickets.
All right, no problem. Thanks.
Thanks. Wow, pays to know our number well.
Yeah, it does. Urban guy.
Yeah, he is a good dude. How about this? Let's hit a break, folks. More news and views in the afternoon after this.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
It's the 70th Alabama National Fair, October 6th through the 15th. Enjoy the rides, circus, shows, and the food.
I really enjoy munching my way down the Midway. I can just smell all the great food I love. Giant turkey legs, funnel cakes, corn dogs, and anything deep fried.
Get the free Fair app at your app store. Coliseum Clear Bag policy in effect. 17 and under must be accompanied by an adult 21 or over.
It's the best 10 days of fall.
For October 6th through the 15th.
Alabama National Fair.
Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
Jessica Pig here with Pig Enterprises. Blue Water Broadcasting has been a major part of our continued growth, connecting us with the right customer base at the right time, helping us to get you behind the wheel of quality pre-owned vehicles for the past 20 years. If you're looking to maximize your advertising potential, Pig Enterprises believes you'll get a squeal of a deal from Blue Water Broadcasting.
Radio works. It's as simple as that. Call us to find out how radio can work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by H&H Carpets, where you will find a complete line of Mohawk carpet with exceptionally clean, smart strand fiber. It's always available and ready to be installed. H&H Carpets, across from Walmart on the Atlanta Highway.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. The risk of spotty hit-or-miss storms will continue well into the evening hours. Good luck. We could use the rain for sure. Low temperature tonight down to about 69. Tomorrow, the random storms will be in more generous supply. Just more to go around, with a high around 86 tomorrow. Then maybe just a few leftover widely scattered storms on Thursday, before some drier and nicer air arrives by Friday and Saturday. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. The weather's always changing. Hot as blazes 1 minute, raining cats and dogs the next. What doesn't change is the dependability of Kubota's L-Series compact tractors to handle it all. Kubota and Capital Tractor in Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the program.
It was her cat, so it was her responsibility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
By the way, we haven't brought this up yet. You got some like shirts.
Oh yeah.
Embroidered and you were going to put on what yours? Two pies.
Two pies, and then skies. Of course, and then skies.
And so the one you got says two pies.
Yeah.
Like my name is two pies. It's like that position, like on the chest. And then sky says sky.
Sky. Yeah.
And
Without
then
the E.
what was mine supposed to say?
Yours was supposed to say tasty cakes, but it ends up saying taste cakes.
I'm glad it wasn't a tattoo, sweetheart.
There was a breakdown in the English language there, but I'm going to go back and get that fixed. But what does Joey do? He tastes cakes.
Yeah, I'm a cake taster. Oh, goodness.
Are you not, though?
I don't know. No, I don't even know why I do what I do some days. 272-9228 if you want to hop in on the program. And plenty more to get to. And, in fact, we have yet to get to this NBC News breakdown. Using NBC News because, it's not just some right-wing biased source.
No, they're not.
This is Steve Kornacki. And actually, I tend to think Kornacki's pretty much in the ballpark.
Like that guy?
I wouldn't say like the guy. I don't know him, but I think he's competent. I'll put it that way. I think he's smart and competent. But let's listen in together.
Through all of the numbers, Steve, it's so great to have you here. A lot of headlines in this new poll.
Yeah, Kristen, and you mentioned an uphill climb for these Republican opponents of Donald Trump. Let's show folks from our new poll exactly how steep it is. Look at this. Donald Trump, brand new national poll of Republican primary voters, nearly 60% support the former president. His nearest rival, Ron DeSantis, more than 40 points behind him now. Obviously, you can see here nobody else in single digits. And look at the movement, too. From the start of the summer, we polled this back in June. Trump seemed to have a dominant lead then. It has only gotten more dominant. From 43 now, it was not even 30 in.
They have Vivek at only 2%.
I have a really hard time believing Nikki Haley and what's his name behind that? The old man Johnny Quest's dad is in front of Vivek.
Yeah, Nikki Haley, BS. Mike Pence, Chris Christie, Tim Scott are all ahead of Vivek Ramaswamy in this
BS
poll.
on this, 100%.
If that's true, I don't know if I want to live here anymore. Y'all are idiots.
There's no way. I know Donald Trump is ahead leaps and bounds. We know that just by every time the man goes somewhere, his poll numbers go up. However, Nikki Haley, when's the last time you actually saw something interesting come out of her mouth?
And seriously, if I got to deal with this stupid girl boss energy to cover up for the military contractors, it's one thing to have Lindsey Graham do it.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, just, again.
The corporate media is the absolute worst. You're a bunch of bought and paid for liars.
Two top enemies in the United States for a United States citizen. Our administration and the media. Our own government and our own media are the two top enemies of the common man here in the U.S.
Let's keep going, though.
In June, and you can see here, we asked the question. I think this gets to the heart of it. We asked Republicans, should Donald Trump be the leader of your party? And now nearly 60% say yes. It wasn't quite 50 at the start of the summer.
Well, Stephen, what's so stunning about this number, a lot's happened since June. We're talking 2 more indictments against former President Trump, so 4 in total, and the first GOP primary debate. And yet, Mr. Trump is just solidifying his lead with GOP voters.
And Kristen, you know this from talking to Republican critics of Trump from rival campaigns. Everything you just explained, they thought would take him down a peg this summer, and instead he has only moved up here. You can see the numbers saying the party needs a new leader. That has gone down. So for Donald Trump there, nothing but good news. And it raises this question. If Republicans go forward and nominate Trump again, this is what the rematch in our poll would look like right now. 46-46. And you remember, in 2020, Joe Biden actually won the popular vote by more than 4 points. And how about this?
Wait, is this science? How many millions of dollars do y'all get paid to produce that? Like, you're telling me that in 2024, the election's going to be like a divided country? Couldn't you come up with that by just, going outside?
But they're telling you right now that Joe Biden, the schmuck we have in office, has as much support as Donald Trump. If I were to tell you that, Joey, you would look at me and call me a liar.
Hmm?
Then why do we accept this kind of BS?
Well, because it's a hypothetical matchup head to head. You say?
I see.
Let's continue.
DeSantis, who sort of pitched himself as the electable version of Trump to Republicans, fares worse against Biden than Trump does. We also tested Nikki Haley, the former UN ambassador. She actually leads Joe Biden by 5 in our poll.
This is
okay. Can I call the BS yet?
Go
Because there's
ahead.
no
Go
way.
ahead.
There is absolutely no way that is a factual, actual poll. That was taken by Nikki Haley. There's no way, Joe.
What we're going to get is some girl boss that everybody celebrates as historic, but she's going to be no different than all of them. All of them.
Well, apparently she's running the Joe Biden deal where she just don't say anything. Just hang in there and keep your name in the hat.
I guess I don't know this country. I just don't know it. Or maybe I expect too much of people. It's just,
or maybe you
whatever.
expect too much of the media.
Yeah. Maybe I expect too much of the whole idea of democracy. Well, a popularity contest. Well, we'll replace a king with a popularity contest. Are we going to protect people's individual rights? Well, we'll pretend to. Right. And then we'll chip away at that to where the people can kind of vote on everything, to where everybody owes everybody, even though, you didn't actually sign any contract. And by the way, then as we're running out of money, we can saddle future generations with all sorts of obligations that they'll never get a say in. I mean, they'll grow up and get to vote.
Sure, they get that.
But, I mean, what difference is it going to make when you have all millions of people who are their elders in their 60s, 70s, 80s on these programs, along with all these other obligations we have all over the world? I mean, the younger generation, they just got to take up responsibility. Freedom doesn't mean you actually have a voice to consent to. Freedom means you get to vote and bubble something every few years while we manipulate, emotionally blackmail, and defame anybody that might rise up to challenge our power. Is that really freedom and democracy? Or is it a corporate sham?
There you
It's
go.
more interested in blowing up people all over the world in the name of protecting folks.
Sure.
More interested in getting you hooked on drugs that are killing you. And I'm talking about the legal ones, not to mention the illegal ones, because, we got to manage this problem, manage that problem. You ask too much, you populists, you radicals. We just have to manage the problem. We have to be wise and consider. So tired of people's liberties and wealth being stolen as, we're just having a conversation. No, we're not.
Not really.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hey, Tammy, let me tell you about how to bring in those big deer.
Randy, I know how to attract the big bucks.
Ha, very funny. At Prattville Farm Center, we've been helping hunters be successful for over 35 years.
We have the products, supplies, and knowledge you need to get those big bucks.
That's right, Tammy. We don't believe in gimmicks or magic seed. We just believe in sound planting practices that work.
So come see us today at 1154 South Memorial Drive in Prattville.
Now that we're done talking about those big bucks, how about those cute does?
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online, the River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Welcome back. Folks, this part of the program brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And at Dillon Rings, of course, they are a full-service jewelry shop. Don't forget about the Birthday Boy sale on select items. 25% off until the end of September. We've still got a few days left with that.
We do.
But one thing that's amazing, truly unique there to Dillon Rings is the skill of Josh Ryder. He's an incredible, the only word is artist. Like, the guy really can create out of just your imagination. If you can dream it, Josh Ryder can make it a reality.
Can make it happen, yeah.
Or you might want to update something. Like, here's the deal. Maybe you inherited a piece of jewelry you want to wear. You want to keep it in the family.
Okay.
But you want to update it a little bit.
Sure.
They can do that for you. Maybe you want to combine two pieces of jewelry.
That's a really good idea.
And it could be, hey, you're just having fun, like you want a funky, fresh medallion, or it could be something more poignant to commemorate a loved one you've lost. Josh Ryder can help you with all of these things there. Maybe you just hit a 20-year, 25-year anniversary in your marriage, and you want to kind of refresh those vows by also refreshing those wedding bands.
Good idea.
They can do that there at Dillon Rings. Josh Ryder is, again, a true artist. So check him out today. Go to DillonRings.com. That's DillonRings.com. Or you can always call him at 215-3669. But I really encourage you to stop by that showroom, 119 Brown Springs Road, here in Montgomery, just off Atlanta Highway. I tend to remember it's where the old Fun Zone used to be.
Exactly.
In that area. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Now, Magnolia Moonshine on Twitter just added me, and he said, got off work just in time to hear your bit about President Trump and the wind turbines making the whales batty. There's a documentary out called Thrown to the Wind that seems to support Trump's claim. Thrown to the wind.
Sound waves, man. Sound waves.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I know it sounds kooky. I know it sounds
No,
kooky,
and often when you have somebody in some nice media studio in New York City going, that can't be true, we've got a fact checker here, and you're just immediately poo-pooing and contradicting the locals who know their area, know their waters, that, like, they're going to notice if whales start, being beached.
These are the same people who said that COVID was from the wet market, Joey.
Yeah. So often, maybe look at that. Thrown to the Wind is the name of the documentary.
And not to throw you off, but earlier you did the story about Biden's people concentrating and focusing on him not falling.
Mm-hmm.
He stumbled.
Wait,
about an hour later, he stumbled.
Not just over his words?
No, onto Air Force One. An hour later.
Well, they're failing in their Don't Trip, Mr. President mission. Failing badly. This part of the program brought to you by XI Repair. And at XI Repair, Jonathan Strange and his team, well, they're ready to help you with any of those smartphone repairs. They specialize in that. So it could be cracked screen or a battery not holding a charge, maybe water damage from dropping it in the toilet or the pool or something. Could be, you got a dirty port and your charger's not connecting. Maybe you got a virus. They can help you with all of these problems, and often for a very reasonable fee in under 30 minutes. They can also sell you brand new or refurbished smartphones. They can do work on desktop, laptop, computers, and also they can do data recovery work. So if you happen to accidentally delete something important to you, or maybe you're going through a divorce or some sort of litigation, business deals can go wrong too. People delete things because it might be incriminating?
Yes.
Well, they can recover that for you there at XI Repair. Have your legal counsel check in if need be. So that number, 777-1234, 777-1234, or you can always go to xirepair.com and be sure to tell those fine folks there at XI Repair that Joey and Eddie from News and Views in the Afternoon sent you. Ray Bowles is on the line. Hey, Ray.
Man, I am so busy right now. I don't have time to talk. I'm going to let Dad do the radio.
Oh, bring it on, Dad.
Dad, come on. He's just grinning from ear to ear. I was trying to sideswipe him, and he didn't fall for it, y'all.
He does. Your dad does the best commercials. He's just absolutely the best.
I know. Hey, Eddie, are you going to invest with me on that property I sent you last night?
Dude, I would love to. I did show it to my wife like you talked about. Probably went over as well as showing it to your wife.
Yeah. And you said a hard no on that one.
Pretty much what I got.
Yeah, you have to show him after you get off there.
I will.
Hey, if you want to make an investment in flooring, you really need to call Private Carpet. 285-8117, just like this person's doing right now. We're going to come out, look at your house, look at what you've got, measure free of charge. You have nothing in this until you sign on the dotted line. And then from there, within a week or so, you got a new floor down. Just that simple.
Just that simple, folks. Again, 285-8117. You can also always go to PrattvilleCarpet.com. But when you get in touch, be sure to tell them you heard Ray Bowles here on the radio on News and Views with Joey and Eddie.
Guys, y'all have a great day.
You too, Ray.
You too, Ray. Oh, by the way, Eddie, we didn't get the one clip here. I think we got a little bit of time to squeeze this in.
Are you on the X, formerly known as Twitter?
Yeah, and you know how the Canadian Parliament, one of Justin Trudeau's favorite insults of people is you're a Nazi.
Yeah.
And the Canadian Parliament actually invited a guy, turned out he was literally part of the Nazis.
Yes, he was.
And applauded him, did a standing ovation. It's so embarrassing, eh? Well, here's Justin Trudeau trying to clean that up.
Obviously, it's extremely upsetting that this happened. The speaker has acknowledged his mistake and has apologized. But this is something that is deeply embarrassing to the Parliament of Canada and, by extension, to all Canadians. I think particularly of Jewish MPs and all members of the Jewish community across the country who are commemorating Yom Kippur today. I think
real bad timing.
Yeah, it's going to be really important that all of us push back against Russian propaganda, Russian disinformation, and continue our steadfast and unequivocal support for Ukraine.
What the heck does Russian propaganda and disinformation have to do with y'all inviting and applauding a Nazi in your parliament?
One of the parliament people stood up today and said Trudeau personally approved it.
They're all a bunch of liars, crooks, rogues, vagabonds, and thieves.
Yep.
Even the nice, charming ones. Anyway, y'all stay tuned. Happy Hour with Greg Budell. He's next.